on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
If you're in the Minot area and looking for a rental, start here. I just moved and had no idea where to begin, but then I found Creative Property Management. They've got the most listings in town, apartments, townhomes, even single-family homes. They made it easy, helped me find a place that felt like home, and their 24/7 maintenance means no stress. Whether you're new to the area or just ready for a change, book a tour with CPM today.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. SurfPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Acriman Esold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Acriman Esold, working to enhance your everyday life.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Not everyone starts their day at the same time or in the same way. But no matter when or how, Verendrye Electric Cooperative is there to help power every moment of it in countless ways. Because whenever it starts, one thing is certain: we never stop. Verendrye Electric Cooperative is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, your source for power and information.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change-anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Well, if we're playing King of the Hill, Minot North is on top right now, and Fargo North is on the up and up. Fargo North will try to play spoiler tonight at homecoming week here at Minot North campus. #1 team in the state in AA. This is only their second year as a program, and what a night ahead. Thank you for joining us here on PSP Network. Our coverage of Friday Night Lights. Tonight, it's the Sentinels versus the Spartans. My name is Dallas Sanson. Joining me alongside in the booth is the great, the powerful Corey McIver. Mr. McIver, welcome in. How are we feeling tonight, sir?
Well, feeling pretty good. And, hey, what a difference a week makes. The last week we were here, It's nice, it's sunny, a little warm, everybody's in shorts. And now today feels more like football weather. A little overcast. We had a little bit of rain through here. It just has that fall feel to it, and just football season and festivities around here. Minot North celebrating homecoming week this week. I know you and I were both commenting on how the drive into
Yes.
parking spots are at a premium right now.
Yes.
So if people haven't made their way to the game, I would strongly encourage them to do so. Otherwise, if you're going to stay at home, by all means, tune into us. We're glad that you're here. But yeah, we're in store for you and I were talking before we went on the air. I think we're in store for one heck of a football game tonight.
Yeah, no, for sure. And looking at this Fargo North team, they come in 2-1, a very, very, very nice 2-1. Their one loss comes when they travel to Bismarck High to play the Demons. A tough loss there. But then you look at Minot North. We watched them last week. Very interesting first half. But now they find themselves 3-0. And now their best player might be coming back to play, Mr. Dedman.
Yeah, that's going to be a welcome. That's going to be a welcome for them to have Dedman coming back. And I know he's been kind of on a pitch count the first couple games, just kind of feel it out, see how that knee's doing. And I think we're going to probably see maybe a little more heavy dose of him now today. But I think we're in store for a good game. Like I said before, I think both teams, as far as what they want to do offensively, it's going to be almost mirror image of each other. I think we're going to see a lot of run game for both teams. Both teams like to run the ball. Both teams have very good defenses. So I think yards are going to come at a premium today. And so I think we're in store for one heck of a ball game.
You've been listening to our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Timely services that won't slow you down. 25 years of the Lundins taking care of people. Local actually matters. Not to mention, this oil change is a stay-in-your-car drive-through oil change. It is typically performed in 15 minutes or less. Find them in Minot and Bismarck. It's Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Well, the teams are on the field getting stretched out. The band's playing. It's a great night for a great game called football. Thank you for joining us here on PSP Network. Coming up next, Corey and I will break down the game and set the table for tonight's matchup between the Sentinels and the Spartans.
Can you remember the last time you were certain that your bank had your back or would go the extra mile to give you the service and attention you need? Partnering with the right community bank can make all the difference. We like to think of a community bank as one that supports its local community. You need to know that whatever your financial future holds, your bank will be there to provide practical support. As a community bank, BNC National Bank will be there for whatever you need in the long haul. Reach out to our team today to learn more about how we're able to help you succeed. Member FDIC.
You've worked hard, saved well, and invested wisely. Whether it's paying for a child's education, taking the family trip you've dreamed of, giving back to the community, or funding a confident retirement, we can help you reach your goals. We are passionate about helping you make smart decisions about your spending and saving so you can feel confident about the future while enjoying life today. Together, we can design a personalized plan that takes into account your short and long-term needs and wants, but is flexible enough to adjust as your life changes.
In times of loss, SurfPro brings hope. With expertise in Minot and Bismarck, we don't just restore homes, we rebuild lives.
Nobody thinks about personal injury until it happens. But when injury strikes, so will your bills and the turmoil and everything you'll miss out on. It's a mess and you need someone to help it all make sense. That someone is Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride. We know the territory and the process, and we work smart and hard to get you results. It's easier to get back to normal knowing there's a team behind you. We're the ones the other side doesn't want you to call. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride.
Welcome back into PSP Network. My name is Dal Sanson alongside Corey McIver. You're listening to our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Timely services won't slow you down. They're typically performed in 15 minutes or less. Make sure to check them out in Minot and Bismarck, North Dakota. Now, if you're first watching this Minot North team, which I know a lot of our listeners are, they're ranked number 1 in AA football. But how did they get here? Well, let me tell you. Week 1, they went to Williston High School, beat them 41-0. Then they traveled to Fargo South, which was a nice win. Head coach Holman was telling me, hey, I'm kind of nervous about my guys traveling. Well, they did a travel. They handled it just like a business trip. They win that game 28-7. Then last week, Corey, you and I were here. We saw them pull away kind of in the second half, kind of midway through that second quarter, being a pretty talented Grand Forks Red River team, 45-14. But, Corey, I'm going to ask you tonight, what do you see when you look at this Minot North football team?
Well, you look at Minot North and you see a team that prides itself on running the football. Talking with Coach Holman after in the post game last, they make no bones about it. They don't try to hide it from anybody. They like to run the football, and we're going to see a heavy dose of the run again again today, and they have a lot of different weapons that they can put in the backfield that can carry the ball. Our player of the game last week, Cooper Chick, he came out of nowhere, had a big interception there on defense, and then had a long touchdown run to kind of help extend that lead for him. So they pride themselves on running the football, and so this is going to be the first time you see Minot North play, you're going to see a team that likes to run the football, likes to control the trenches, and just they'll beat you down, and they'll beat you down. They'll get 2-3 yards of crack, and then they'll end up breaking one for extended gain. So they're just going to try to wear you down as much as they can for a quarter, for a half, for the entire game. They're just going to keep wearing you down, and it's up to Minot North to kind of. Fargo North. I think that's probably not going to be the first and only time that we make that mistake. You're going to see Fargo North they're going to try to probably maybe load the box up if they can, try to stop the run, force Minot North into some passing situations.
Well, let's take a look at the visitors on the scoreboard tonight. They're going to try to play spoiler knockoff number 1. That's the Fargo North Spartans. They come into this game 2-1. They win their first game against Mandan 34-22. Then they travel to a very talented Bismarck High football team where they lost 17-7, a close game though. And last week, a huge win, and I mean huge, against Fargo South, 28-21. But now, tonight, live on PSP Network, it's going to be their biggest test of the year yet against number 1 Minot North. Corey, what do we see about Fargo?
Well, you take a look at Fargo North, and it's almost like looking in the mirror of Minot North, really. You look at the stats. They themselves also they love to run the football. They've got Mikkel Lockwood, 27 carries for 251 yards. Their quarterback, Kellen Doherty, has 29 carries for 246 yards, almost 500 yards rushing between the two of them, 5 touchdowns between the two of them.
My goodness!
So I mean, you're gonna see Fargo North want to establish the run early and force Minot North into and bringing down an extra defender in the box, and then their quarterback Doherty, he likes to throw the ball. He's 18 of 36, 313 yards, 4 touchdowns, so he can throw the ball. He can put the ball in the air. It's going to be a fun game because I think both offenses are very similar to one another. I think as far as scouting for each other's teams, the week of practice, it was your scout offense and scout defense were probably doing the same things that your regular offense and defenses were doing anyway. So I think you're going to see both teams are going to try to establish the run early, and both teams are going to force the opposing defenses to bring down extra defenders in the box, and then hopefully a little play action go over the top.
Now let's take a look at our other squad that's coming in here, on the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Timely services won't slow you down. Corey, there's some different interesting things when you look at what we're about to see, and that's the standings. And right now, again, you got Grand Forks Central 3-0, Kindred that's Athlete Central down there in Kindred 3-0. But now at the West, where the West was 1, Minot North 3-0, Watford City 2-1. Watford City, they're going to play Minot North here in a few weeks. But what do you see about those standings?
I look at that, and you look at the East is pretty balanced there with Grand Forks Central and Kindred on top. Central Cass is only a game behind them, and the same thing can be said in the West. You got Minot North sitting there 3-0, but then you got a couple teams there at 2-1 in Watford City and Devils Lake. So to me, that shows me that both divisions, both the East and the West, are still wide open. There isn't one team that's really pulling away. We'll start to see as teams start to play each other. It'll be Grand Forks Central, Kindred getting together, and the top teams in the West getting together. Then they'll probably maybe extend themselves a little bit. But until then, you're going to see a lot of balance there between both divisions.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to tonight. Some special activities coming up, Mr. McIver. Make sure you stick with us here tonight as we've got the Armed Forces making their way to pay tribute to the greatest country in the world. That is the United States of America. Without them, we don't get to do what we get to do, and that's play football, televise football. So we're going to pay tribute right now as we have the National Guard on the field here on PSP Network. Just waiting a little bit here. We've got a big surprise that's moving in here, so we're going to talk a little bit more on your Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. So now we're hearing from the PA announcer. Please rise, remove all headgear, as we will as well. And we'll take it away for our PA announcer.
Directed by Jeremy Minor. The flags will be presented by the Minot High School Air Force JROTC. The color guard detail is commanded by Cadet Major Faith Bailey. I ask you to please stand at attention until the flags have been retired. approaching from the south.
Here comes the helicopter bringing in the game ball. This is the United States of America, Corey. How do we feel? This is electric in here.
This is pretty cool. You could hear, you could hear the helicopter. We're just kind of waiting for it to land. It's kind of taking a circle here and to deliver the game ball. So it's going to be pretty cool here. Good atmosphere. Again, the crowd is here. That's filing in. Again, if you haven't had a chance to get here, go ahead and tune in and we'll show you a pretty good game. But yeah, I think the crowd's ready to go. I think both teams are ready to go, and let's get ready to flip the coin and tee it up and get after it.
Appreciate the Minot Air Force Base for doing that special flyover. There it is right on the left-hand side. It's starting to come in closer and closer. Let's see if we can get a shot of that helicopter coming in live here. There she is. Man, I feel like on NASCAR, I just want to yell, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. This is amazing, man. This is North Dakota sports right here.
Yeah, this is something special that the city of Minot, the Minot school district, and the Minot Air Force Base, they do a lot of things together, and it's just nice to have another group, an entity like the Air Force Base here to take a part and take part in local things and be a part of local things too, and it's just something special to have this here in Minot, and I know some of these kids here that are dressed that are geared up here in Minot North, they very well could be kids that live on the base because their moms and dads are stationed here in Minot, and I know I've talked to a few people that are retired military that have served here at the Minot Air Force Base, and they leave and then they retire and they come back. They love the community so much, and I know the community of Minot feels the same way about the Air Force Base.
You know what else is special? Valvoline Instant Oil Change, our pregame sponsor. Appreciate them. Appreciate you joining us. When we come back, we're going to explain the game plan for each teams and what you can expect here on PSP Network tonight.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. SurfPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
We are back here at PSP Network. My name is Dallas Ants alongside Corey McIver. You're listening to the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show, timely service that won't slow you down. Guess what, Corey? We aren't the only game live tonight here on PSP. We've got a full buffet courtesy of Bones Barbecue Sauce sponsoring tonight's Friday Night Lights schedule. Minot High, they're going to take on Shanley, West Fargo versus Century. Fargo North versus Minot North is us. Central Cass versus Dickinson, and then Velva versus DLB. What a night. 5 games again. We tied the record, Corey, and here comes the helicopter again. What do you think of that? 5 football games.
Yeah, that's, we did it. We thought we were, we were a little worried about last week having that many games, and I think that, from what we've heard from people, I think they really appreciate the fact that we're able to broadcast hit every region of the state almost, and again tonight we have 5 more games in our viewing areas and being able to broadcast that for the people and yeah, as we speak right now, if you get a chance to see, we do have the helicopter coming down here to, I believe, deliver the game ball. So it's kind of a unique atmosphere of something new, something different. I know things are flying around here a little bit, but
this is something that does not happen every day. Look at this, folks. The game ball is being delivered on a helicopter. There's gone to the 30, the 35, 40, 45. Touchdown here in Minot North. This is what it's all about. I mean, Corey, this is giving me goosebumps. This is how to start a football game. The birds are flying. The fans are cheering. What a tribute to the greatest country in the world. They are delivering the game ball for tonight. Again, this is our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Fargo North versus Minot North. When we talk a little bit about Minot North, there's no other way to get around this. Their game plan, Coach Holman, we're going to run the football.
Yeah, we're going to run the ball. Like I said, we talked about it. Talked with him last week in the post game. They love to run the football. They're going to continue to run the football. They're going to force you as a defense to come down and stop the run, and they do a great job of once you start thinking you have the run stop, that's when we throw a little play action play action in you, or you get Blickery out. You get Blickery out in space. Give him that run pass option. You've got Josiah Jacquinette coming on those jet sweeps. They've got ways that they're going to pound you up the middle, but then they're going to be able to stretch that field and kind of get around the corner.
But hold the phone, Corey, because Fargo North has some great defensive players led by Jace Verianu, one of those Italian stallion type players, plays the linebacker position and has a nose for the football.
Yeah, if you can get a guy that plays in the middle of the field like that as a linebacker, knows what his responsibility is, and can find the ball and snuff it out. We saw that last week a little bit too with Grand Forks Red River. They did a pretty good job. They had a linebacking crew that was able to kind of find the football as well. And when you think you had a gap open to get some yards, Grand Forks Red River was able to fill that in. So I think Veriano is probably going to be able to do the same thing or look to do the same thing against Minot North.
Again, you've been listening to our Valvoline and Oil Change pregame show, timely services that won't slow you down. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight. I'm going to try to get back into this thing, man. A helicopter on the field. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, kickoff here from First Western Bank Field at the campus of Minot North.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FinRun SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Finding the right bank can be transformative for your small business. The best bank for your business will offer competitive fees and so much more. At BNC National Bank, our team is proud to offer you a helpful, supportive, above and beyond banking relationship. Starting to stress about the complexities of qualifying for a small business loan? BNC can guide you through the process with much less stress and likely far more success. Speak to one of our team members today. Member FDIC.
Thank you for choosing PSP Network. They just did the coin toss. So Fargo North deferred. So they're going to kick this way. They will receive after half. Let's talk about one of my favorite parts of tonight, and that's Corey McIver's Keys to the Game. It's brought to you by who other than a very, very important company, because it's wintertime, it's coming. That's Northern Plains Heating and Air. There's no other choice to seal your heating and air game than Northern Plains Heating and Air. Call Dylan today at 222-2155 to make sure that furnace is ready for the North Dakota winter. So for Fargo North, you said D-line and D-up.
Yeah, you take a look at that D-line, that their responsibility. You know, they have a bit tough responsibility because their main focus here. We want to control the line of scrimmage. We want to keep those offensive linemen away from our linebackers. Let our linebackers run free, find the football, shoot the gaps, and make the tackles. Occupy those offensive linemen. And the big thing is also don't give up any ground on that line of scrimmage. If you allow Minot North to get underneath the pads and get you driven back a little ways, so your linebackers or D-backs are making tackles 5-6 yards down the field, that's not what you want to do as a defensive line. And then you take a look at Minot North. Yeah, just like it says, execute.
Yep.
We know the game plan. Everybody knows Minot North's game plan. We want to run the football. We have to be able to execute. Offensive line have to stay on their blocks. You know, double team to that second level to the linebackers. You know, sustain those blocks down the field. You know, keep chipping away. Be happy with 3-4 yard gains at a pop, knowing full well eventually those 3 or 4 yards are going to turn into 10, 15, or maybe even a house call for a long run. But you want to control the line of scrimmage. You control the line of scrimmage, you're going to control the clock. You're going to keep Fargo North's offense off the field, which is what you want to do in the first place.
Those are our keys of the game, brought to you by Northern Plains Heating and Air. Make sure to call Dylan today, 222-2155, for all your furnace and AC needs. Again, that's Dylan at 222-2155. Appreciate Northern Plains Heating and Air bringing those keys to the game. Here they come, the Minot North Sentinels. We just talked about some of the starters for Fargo North. They're going to go like this defensively. Brody Fowler, defensive lineman, Another defensive line, Deshaun Taylor. The big man down low wears number 77. Somebody to watch tonight is Deshaun Taylor. Another D lineman, Finn Kitley, wears number 67. Linebackers, Parnell Preston, Jace Verianu, Dylan Mord, and Michael Dummer, because those are the players that are going to have to go against the Deadmans and the ferocious attack that Minot North has with their running backs. Defensive backs for Fargo North are Jacob Soggy, Matt Kragnes, Noah Olhauser, and Lucas Jackson. Again, this is head coach Brent Miller's team, and down there on the field with him before, there's one thing he said to me. He said, Dallas, this is going to be Minot North's biggest test.
Yes, absolutely. I think, and I think you could probably, if you asked Coach Holman before this game, he probably would agree with that. I think this is a very good test. You have a school in Minot, or in Fargo North, a AAA school coming in and playing, the top team in AA, which means absolutely, it just one division play, a different division playing another division. That's all that really is on paper. These two teams are evenly matched. It's going to be a heck of a ball game. And yeah, this is probably by far early on in the season. This is a really good stiff test here for Minot North, just to see what kind of football team they actually are.
Well, Coach Holman's going to have the starting offense, which is going to be announced. He's going with these big boys up front, and if you're a Minot North fan, you know them well. Starting at guard, Ethan Howie. Then they go with Andres Good, Gabe Mendez, Gavin McKeithen, Tyler Steele. And then we've got the tight end, Will Bentley. Wide receiver, get used to hearing this name tonight, folks, Josiah Jacquanet. Another wide receiver, Cameron Jez. And then fullback, Evan Berg, who sneaks out a few times on some of those screens. Tailback, and also our player of the week here on PSP Sports, Cooper Chick. And then the man under center, one of the big leaders, Braden Blickery. That concludes your starting lineups. Again, this is the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. When we come back, kickoff from homecoming, number 1 versus Fargo North. Stick with us. We are ready here tonight. Fargo North wearing the white jerseys with the blue pants. Minot North in all blue tonight. Jack Wanette will bring it from the 10. Here goes Jack Wanette wearing number 1. Kind of stunner steps, brings it out to the 20. North was all over him tonight, so the Sentinel offense will trap out onto the field. And Corey, we're talking a little bit about this team and how much they have to offer in the backfield.
Yeah, you look at Minot North again. They have multi-headed weapons there in the backfield as far as who's going to be able to run the football. So Coach Holman is going to be throwing all those runners out there, and they all have different, unique running styles. You've got guys like Chick and Jacquanet they're your speedsters that are going to get downhill, and then you got Deadman and Berg that are just the bell cows and just kind of run you over.
Cooper Chick gets his first carry, maybe gets a yard, and again, it's that North defense that can play very well. Fargo North, that is, Another man on the tackle. That was the big guy we alluded to early on. That's Deshaun Taylor, the senior.
Yeah, good first down there. If you're Fargo North, that's a great job. Very minimal gain there for Minot North. A long second down here. Again, you're Fargo North. You want to keep them. You want them keeping a long distance away from the first down.
Blickery going to go with a curl round out to Jack Wanette. It's completed, but he's going to be swallowed up very quickly. How about that cornerback on the outside? Excellent job by Callan Buchanan on the outside to swallow him up, and it's a good form tackle there.
Yeah, that was a great job. Buchanan did a great job coming up. Nice form tackle. Grabbed. That was just kind of a long handoff type play there for Minot North, kind of getting Jacquinette out there in space, hoping to make Buchanan miss, and then we're off the races. But now, if you're Fargo North, great, you got long third down here. Minot North trying to pick up.
Blickery going to pass. He's going to look out to Chick. It's incomplete. So we see our first drive go 3 and out for the number 1 team in AA football. That's the Minot North Sentinels. But it's the Fargo North defense that comes to an applause from their coaching staff.
Yeah, that was a good opening series. If you're Fargo North, you got to be pretty happy about that. 3 downs, got about 2.5 yards there. And the nice thing is too, now Fargo North, you're going to get some pretty good field position on this punt.
So North will punt this one away. They're 4th down and 7. They will get the punt off. It's a rather short one. It's going to hit right at the 45. Bounces. A Fargo North bounce and bounces back from Minot North. They're going to surround the football. So be right around the 44-yard line, I believe. So when we come back, can Fargo North take this early lead, or will the Sentinels defense play some D as well? Sorry to fast lane one of our commercials tonight. Fargo North ran on the field rather quick. They're going to send a man in motion. Back to pass is going to be completed, and a nice job to the outside. That was Charles Larson, the senior, that caught the curl route. So we're seeing some early passing here from Fargo North.
Yeah, nothing wrong with switching up the game plan there a little bit. Everybody's kind of focused on the run because they run the ball well, but like I said in the pregame, Doherty's he can show he can throw the football a little bit, and when you got a kid like Larson out there, 6'2" wide receiver, that's going to be a pretty nice target for him to have.
Doherty, who is a senior on this team, one of the leaders. We're going to have a pistol formation. Doherty going to hand off. Nice handoff up the middle to Mikkel Lockwood. Lockwood's going to be tripped up just for a gain of 2, but I believe they're going to measure this one. It's awfully close to a first down, and the referees say, that's first down, boys. Let's move the chain. So Fargo North, 2 plays, a first down.
Yeah, that's a good opening drive here for Fargo North. Your defense went 3 and out, and you got good field position, and in 2 plays you got yourself another first down. So Minot North's got to stiffen up here a little bit defensively and kind of get a good pass rush here if he's going to sit back and drop back and throw the football, just rally to the ball if you're Minot North's defense.
Amundsen goes in motion. They fake to him. Doherty goes out to the right, but it's going to be incomplete. So we see a lot of play action last week. As we take a look at a Ryan Family Dealerships instant replay, same thing, pistol formation, just a fake and pull out to the right.
Yeah, the nice thing about film nowadays is teams can see almost right away, Friday night or early Saturday morning, you can see what your opponent did or what they struggled with. And Minot North did struggle a little bit with Red River last week, getting out and play action and getting out and covering those receivers. So you're going to see Fargo North kind of try to replicate that same thing.
Doherty, he's going to keep it himself. He's going to go up the middle, makes one man miss, then he's tackled. A couple Spartan Sentinels, in there. So good job. We've got a man down here. You hate to see that early on in the football game. I believe Harrison Schaefer was one of the guys to tackle. Let's take a second look at this one on the Ryan Family Dealership. But you see a nice quarterback keeper, saw a hole there.
Yeah, that's one of those nice things about, those jet sweeps they're just killers sometimes because you're daring that defense to take away that jet sweep, and you're looking for those linebackers to flow and take that. And as soon as you see them overflow a little bit, then it's just an easy pull for that quarterback, and then you're up. You find that seam and you find that gap, and you explode through.
We got a player down. We can't see the number from up here in the press box. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll report back on what we see after this short commercial stint.
How would you like to turn this into this? With Shaw's Crossroads Fuel to Food Reward Program, you can. Here's how it works. Pick up a fuel tracker card from any of our C-store cashiers. Every time you fill up with gasoline or diesel, use the fuel tracker card to record your gallons. Once you reach 1,000 gallons, you'll be eligible for a $10 gift card to Shaw's Crossroads Restaurant. Start earning your rewards today at Shaw's Crossroads.
So the man that was down was Andres Good. Andres Good is a offensive defensive lineman, 6 foot and a senior, and that is not good for the Minot North Sentinels.
No, the bright spot was he was able to get up and kind of jog off the field on his own, which is good. And give him a little break here now defensively, and hopefully he's ready to go here the next time Minot North has the ball.
So Doherty trots back on the field. 3rd and 5 for Fargo North. Doherty's going to drop back to pass, looking up the middle, looking, debating. He'll roll out to his right. Doherty points, says, run, boys, run. It's going to be close to an interception. What a great play, both offensively and defensively, as they were going for Jacob Sagi, but a nice job by Chick to get in there.
Yeah, that was a good play. I mean, that was one of those typical, let's sprint out, let's get out there, see what we can do. Minot North did a great job of in dropping back into coverage, but then you saw Doherty kind of trying to direct traffic, and kind of that pass again kind of got away from him a little bit. It was almost intercepted. Great job by both, like you said, by both offense and defense of the guys going after the ball. Big 4th down here for Minot North if you're thinking defensively.
Checking back in the game was Mikkel Lockwood, number 22, a player to watch tonight. He goes in motion. They're going to hand off to the big man, the fullback. He's going to be awfully close here, folks. We're going to require a measurement here. Let's see what they come up with. Zachary Anderson on the carry.
I don't know.
I believe he was short.
Yeah, It didn't look like they marked him much as far as forward gain there. Anyway, maybe a yard, maybe 2, but he came up probably a good 2 yards short. So that was a good 4th down stand for Minot North. Kind of get some of that momentum back. And now offensively, let's see if we can see if Minot North can get themselves into a little bit of a rhythm.
Appreciate Ryan Family Dealership for that instant replay. For 50 years, Ryan has been a trusted name for car buyers in western North Dakota. Shop their entire inventory at driveryan.com or visit one of their 5 locations in Minot and Williston. Blickery is going to hand off to the middle. It's to Chick. Chick's going to go a few yards here, but not much. So no surprise here. In on the tackle was the Italian stallion, if you will, Jace Veriano. And we talked about Veriano in the pregame, how well he can play and just read. And that's going to be big because when those holes open, Veriano can get in there and stop it.
I mean, Minot North tried to do a little misdirection there, a little counter, and like you said, Veriano was able to quick enough there to have the nice closing speed and come down on that. Kind of pointed out there. It looked like number 7. Yeah, it looked like Deshaun Taylor there, number 77, trying to get off the field and just going to get down. So he's going down. That if he's kind of limping there a little bit, and it looks like he's able to get back up and get off the field. So I think both teams are kind of breathing a little sigh of relief. You had some crucial parts on both offense and defensive line for both Minot and Fargo North that kind of went down on previous plays here, and both players were able to get off the field on their own power. So that's kind of nice to see. It's good to see when guys can do that.
It's going to be 2nd down and 7 for the number 1 team in the state in AA. That's Minot North Sentinels. Blickery will go under center, I formation, hands off to the big fullback, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. That's Evan Berg. He's going to pick up about 3 to 4. That's going to bring up 3rd and short, and if you're a Minot North team, 3rd and short is a good thing.
Yeah, I think I'm anticipating, and I'm making a little bit of prediction here. I think you're going to see Evan Berg play a crucial part in this game for Minot North offensively, because you're going to be able to slam him up there and get 2 or 3, 3-4 yards at a crack.
Blickery's going to sneak it. He's going to pick up the 1st down and more. So Minot North catching them a little off guard there as they were able to do the QB sneak, the Philly special, if you will, if an NFL fan, but Blickery right up the middle for a first.
Yeah, big 1st down here for Minot North. Both teams are having some success here now, and Fargo North on their first drive, they were able to pick up a 1st down and just kind of fail on that 4th down conversion, and Minot North went a quick 3 and out on their first, and now they're getting back into their MO as being able to run the football, picking up a 1st down here.
The Fargo North defense going to try to get a stop here. Blickery, we're going to have an encroachment. I believe that was on the left side, the guard. Tonight's scoreboard is brought to you by BNC National Bank. Your life is busy. We'll make managing your money easy with locations in North Dakota and Arizona. Visit BNC Bank online. That's bnc.bank. So Blickery gets them with the hard count. Now it's 1st and 5.
Yeah, that's great job, Minot North, recognizing that they can, go on 2 a little bit here, and Minot, Fargo North just showing a little bit more, anxiousness to get across the line there. It looks like we're going to get them again.
Wow, Blickery with back-to-back hard counts is going to get another one, so we'll have another encroachment on Fargo North as we listen into our white cap tonight, Brandon Weber.
That quite possibly is probably the easiest first down Minot North is probably going to get all year. You get two encroachment penalties on defense. And actually, I was going to say, he didn't even have to go into the cadence, and almost looked like that defensive end was already lined up in the neutral zone to begin with before the play even started. But easy first down here for Minot North. We're at midfield here, and they've got plenty of opportunities here.
Blickery's going to hand off to Dedman. Dedman makes one move, goes inside. Nice little move there for a gain of 2. So Dedman, who we saw last week, he suffered the knee injury last year. One of their best players, if you will, all-region player. Injures that knee, takes the whole summer off, took the first 2 games off, got 5 carries last week. But now I've been told we're going to have a snap count on him tonight, but expect a lot more from Mr. Dedman.
Yeah, I think he, just kind of last week was just kind of to knock the rust off a little bit. I think we're going to see him a little bit more. It'll be interesting to see how well he can plant on that leg to cut and get downhill again if he needs to.
Blickery fakes, rolls out to his left, looking deep. It's going to be a nice little rollout to William Bentley. Bentley's able to pick up the first down and more. So the Sentinels advance the football, and it was all because of the play action.
Yeah, that's it. Again, you've got a team that likes to run the football. You've got Fargo North realizes that. They all bite on that fake there. Both Berg and Dedman do a great job of carrying through that fake, and Blickery's able to get out in space and find his big tight end.
We're going to have a timeout on the field, I believe. Yes, they're going to have a timeout. Fargo North wants time. Coach Miller not happy with the defensive squad, so we'll take time as well. Minot North starting to move north. We'll be back after a short break.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
Got to give a quick shout out to our Minot North band. That was a great job. I know they've had a busy day. We saw student athletes in their band get up gear. They marched all around for the homecoming parade, and now they're right along the side. The stadium's full tonight, Mr. McIver. This is an amazing atmosphere up here at Minot North.
Yeah, we got full stands. We got people standing over by the concessions. It looks like there's already a long line at the concession stand. So
no hot dogs for us.
Yeah, we're gonna have to maybe send somebody on a runner for us.
They're going to give it back to Christian Dedman. Dedman tries to get the stiff arm, still moving. Takes a couple of them down on the tackle. There was number 67, Finn Kintley. So Kintley gets the tackle, but it's going to be 2nd and 6 now for the Sentinels. So seeing Dedman already in the second drive. I know they started with Chick, but now Dedman's taking a lot over the role, looks like.
Yeah, and again, that's a nice little, Chick is more of the scat back kind of where you're down, where Dedman is the downhill runner, and you're going to see more of that.
Blickery hands off to Evan Berg. Berg, the big fullback's going to keep rolling. He's going to have close to a first down. That time, now we saw Harrison Schaefer in the backfield, so that 3-man option, if you will, at running back is starting to come to play.
And like I said in pregame, Coach Holman's got weapons back there that he can put in the backfield, and they all have different, unique running styles, and he's going to try to figure out when is a good time to put in different backs for different situations, and you always have old reliable Evan Berg there at fullback to just turn around and say, hey, give us 3 yards and give us a chance to pick up another first down.
So they will signal a first down. It's going to be referee's timeout. We'll listen in.
Please put 6:02 on the game clock. 6:02 on the game clock. 25 on the play clock.
So they're going to reset the clock to 6:02. A player to watch for Fargo North is a rather large defensive end, and he's made some plays, and that's Finnegan Kintley. So 67, right now he's a left defensive end going up there. You see him on his screen starting to line up. Blickery's going to hand off to Berg. Berg's going to be pushed, and that's, again, a nice stop by the Fargo North defensive line.
Yeah, I think you're going to start to see Minot North is now they're going to force Fargo North to come down and say, hey, we're going to start, we're going to continue to run that ball right up in the 2A gaps. We're going to force you to bring down that extra defender, and once you do, we're either going to try to jet sweep with Jackanet, or we're going to try to get out. We're going to try to get out in space and take advantage of that.
2nd down and 9 for the Minot North Sentinels. In the backfield this time, it's number 24, Hannon. Hannon is going to go deep inside. How about the move by Hannon? Good job there to bring it all the way down inside the red zone. So we already got a SurfPro red zone. SurfPro 24/7 emergency service, trained technicians, advanced technology. Minot North's in the no huddle. They're going to give it to Berg. Berg's going to stumble all the way in. Did he get it?
I think there was a
we got a flag on the play.
Yeah, I think Minot North recognized something there. They went no huddle because Fargo North was trying to do some subbing, and so they just flat out caught Fargo North. Too many guys trying to get guys off the field, and they recognized and they snapped the ball right away. So that's a heads-up play by Coach Holman and Blickery as a quarterback, realizing, hey, Fargo North is trying to sub in and out. Let's hurry up and let's get to the line of scrimmage, and let's just snap the ball. And no matter what we got going, let's just snap the ball and see if we can catch those guys still on the field.
Speaking of another sponsor of ours tonight, First International Bank and Trust. They are a full-service, family-owned, independent community bank built on the bond between our employees and customers. Founded in 1910 and growing to serve rural and urban communities with banks across Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Find them online, FIBT.com. They give it to Dedman. He's going to go inside. Touchdown, Sentinels.
And I don't think there's anybody more excited or more happy about getting in the end zone than Dedman himself. I think all the work that he did to come back and be able to play after going down with that knee injury, I think for him, he's probably the most happiest person on the field right now.
So Christian Dedman, as my partner Corey McIver alluded to, might just get comeback player of the year here in the state of North Dakota. If that's even an award, it should be. But Dedman scores here with 4:41 to go in the first quarter. Extra point will be attempted by Joseph Olsen, and I believe he missed that kick. Let's take a look at that one. I don't think the hold was very good.
No, I think it was you look at if you were able to look, I think the snap was low and the holder really didn't get a chance to get the ball back up, and I think it just kind of threw the rhythm off altogether. I think it was a low snap, kind of rolled, and unfortunately missed extra point, and you never know, that could be something that could come back and haunt Minot North down the stretch.
Sentinel 6, Spartan 0. We'll be back when the Spartans have a chance to tie this up.
Today, we deliver more wonderful birthdays at Trinity Health Family Birth Center. We offer all new private, family-centered suites. Our maternity team provides more personalized support, advanced care, and the reassurances of a NICU and a neonatologist on staff. Take a virtual tour at trinityhealth.org/Family Birth Center. Trinity Health, making more possible.
We are back here on PSP Network, a Friday football frenzy. My name is Dallas Hanson alongside Corey McIver. Thank you for choosing PSP Network. We are one game of 5 happening throughout this great state of North Dakota. Thank you for being along for the ride tonight, where if you're just now joining us, the number 1 team in AA, Minot North, went down and scored. It was Christian Dedman, the senior, who got injured last year, gets his first touchdown of the year tonight, and we are off here. Olsen sends one very deep. It's going to be picked up rather quickly by the Spartans, and they're going to be tackled. Nice job there. On the return was Lucas Jackson. Jackson brings it out right around to the 32-yard line, so out trots Fargo North. And our very own players that look at these games, and a guy that's a very good quarterback, and in that first drive you see his footwork is great. That's Kellen Doherty, the quarterback.
Yeah, Fargo North was, they're able to come back here. They're in no panic as far as
right.
It's still game still. We're still 4.5 still in the first quarter, and so Fargo North, they're fine. They've shown they can move the football here, and they're going to continue to do that.
They're going to hand off here to Lockwood. Lockwood trying to get something here. It's going to be tackled by a couple defenders. Cameron Jez was one of them, but when I was down on the field and you're watching some of these kids warm up, there's certain athletes that jump out at you, and Lockwood was one of them for me for Fargo North.
Yeah, he's one that they obviously like to get him out in space and run that jet sweep with, and as much as we were talking about the linebacking crew from Fargo North being able to fly to the football, Minot North's linebacking crew is just as good, and they're able to kind of get to those gaps as well.
Doherty's going to give it right back to Lockwood. He's going to bounce outside. Look out, he's got some jets. Lockwood almost picks up the first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and short. So Lockwood brings it out to the 42. I believe he did get the first, actually. So nice run there by Mikkel Lockwood.
That was a great job. Lockwood did a really good job of setting up that block for his receiver. He was forcing it kind of like he was going to cut in, and it allowed it made that Minot North defender come in, and the wide receiver was able to seal him off, and then he was able to bounce it back out, and he was able to get the first down.
Another pistol formation right now for Fargo North. The man in motion is Lucas Jackson. They're going to send it right up the middle to Jace Verianu. So not only can he play defense, but Jace can play offense, picks up some good yards there.
Yeah, you're seeing just what Minot North did to Fargo North on that last drive. Fargo North is giving it right back to Minot North on their offense. They're sweeping everybody out, and they've got a fullback in Veriano that can slam up there and pick up the big yards as well.
You know, I worked with Jace's dad at Sturgis Buffalo. Chip, quick shout out to Cosmo. Look at this outside run by Lucas Jackson. Jackson's going to keep rolling. Lucas with some moves. We got a fumble on the field. I believe it went out of bounds. So Fargo North very lucky there, but a heads-up play with the strip by Minot North. Let's watch this replay, see what happened on the Ryan Family Dealership replay.
Yeah, Fargo North is doing a great job with this sweep. I wouldn't be surprised if they're setting up something else with this sweep. You know, they're getting the defenders the flow, and they're going to come back with a counter of some kind later on in this game. I think they're seeing how fast the linebackers flow to the ball, and they're going to come back with something back to the other side.
That was Cameron Jez on the strip. They're going to go with the end around. Nice play here by Connor Amundsen. Amundsen picks up quite a few. It's a 5-yard gain, so that's going to bring up 2nd and 5, and here come the Fargo North team that we heard about. They got a lot of firepower here. We've seen it in their schedule. They're a AAA team, but they're showing a lot right now.
Yeah, it's rather impressive. And one thing we saw last week with Grand Forks Red River in town is Minot North allowed some big plays from Red River, just like they're with Minot North or Fargo North now. But the thing was, when it came crunch time, the defense stepped up like last week, and let's see if Minot North can do it again this week.
Amundsen goes in motion. They give it to him. He's going to pick up really close to the first down. I believe he was a couple yards short. But right now, Corey, we're seeing the pistol formation. We're seeing a lot of motion, and we're seeing a lot of hand signals from Minot North saying, hey, motion here. So it's not just a chess. It's not a checkers game. It's almost chess right now with Fargo North.
You're seeing Fargo North's offense. They're seeing some things, and they're seeing what happens when we do this and what happens when we do that. And they've got some counters to go with these jet sweeps. It's just a matter of time before they break it out.
Got an option play here. QB1's going to keep it. It's Doherty. Doherty's got some space, brings it out to the 30, the 15. Wow. He's so fast, he had me mixed up on numbers. He brings it out to the 15-yard line. How about QB1 with Kellen Doherty?
Yeah, that was just a simple, just fullback dive, but he just kind of held it. And then he saw once they started to collapse, he pulled, and then it was just, Minot North didn't do a very good job of keeping that edge, and they kind of collapsed down a little bit and allowed Doherty to get out to the outside.
Joining him in the backfield is Jace Verianu. Doherty, one man to his left, one man to his right. Sends Lockwood in motion. They're going to give it to Veriano, who stops short. I believe he picked up maybe one. Yeah, they're going to give him one, so that brings up 2nd and 9. If you're Fargo North right now, do you go back to the play action?
I think they're going to probably. It wouldn't surprise me maybe on this down or maybe 3rd down, depending. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see some kind of play action here in this drive. Maybe even this play. They're setting it up. They're setting up for something, and I wouldn't surprise if they go a little play action here, and we got a little twins action here. We got some miscommunication trying to figure out where we're going to line up. But
Doherty's going to have twins to his right. Motion man is Lockwood. Lockwood's going to get it. No, it's going to be, again, Doherty. Doherty keeps it himself. How about that stuff? And on the play was Cameron Jez. Jez, who had the strip early on, making a stand defensively.
Yeah, that was a good job. I kind of got faked out. I thought Lockwood had the ball there too, but
they're so good at
it. They do such a great job, or Doherty does such a great job of holding that ball in and just not really knowing where that ball is until the last second. So here's where we're probably going to see maybe a play action or just straight drop back or get Doherty out in space and let him either create with the run or the pass.
3rd and 8 for Fargo North. Trying to play spoiler tonight on homecoming. Doherty's going to roll out to his left, looking, debating. He's got some pressure, still alive, sees a man, it's picked off! Minot North's got the pick. How about that play? And I believe the pick belongs to a guy by the name of, I thought it was Cooper Chick, but it was actually Landon Salyards. So Salyards gets the pick on homecoming.
Yeah, that was a great job. Doherty did a nice job there. Kind of got out in space, kind of roamed around, kind of eluded some tacklers, some defenders, and Minot North just did a great job of just sitting back in that zone coverage, reading the eyes, and then did a great job of breaking on the ball when it was in the air.
Excuse me, that was actually Gavin Toby. There's a lot going on here up in the press box. 1 second left in the first quarter. Appreciate you joining us here on PSP Network. We've already got 4 games underway here on PSP. Thank you for being a part of our one here. Minot North versus Fargo North. Blickery's going to be in shotgun. 3 to his right, 1 to his left. The man in the backfield is the fullback, Evan Berg. They hand off to a player that's been getting a lot of touches lately. That's Hannon. Hannon's going to go for a short gain, and that brings us to the end of one. What a ball game we have brewing up north. It's the Sentinels 6, Fargo North 0. When we come back, can the Sentinels capitalize on the turnover, or will North come up with a big stop?
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold up! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Let's take one more look at that instant replay here as the interception gave Minot North the football back after it seemed like Fargo North was starting to get in the red zone a little bit. They're going to hand off back to Chick. Chick goes for a gain, nice gain of about 8 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and 1 here for the Sentinels. We've got a man down on the field. Corey, do you have eyes on who that is?
I didn't see the number. I was kind of seeing if he could get up onto his knees, but he did go down. I'm thinking probably one of the linebackers, but yeah, that was we've seen some guys. This is just when you have players that kind of go both ways, and I think it looks like he might have just got the wind knocked out of him here a little bit. He's kind of holding a little bit, but
well, you were telling me it's too bad we didn't have it on our instant replay, but how on the play before the break after the first, it was Evan Berg meeting the player from Fargo North that is Jace Veriano head-to-head in an Oklahoma drill.
Yeah, it was that
two kids that love to hit.
It was that jet sweep, and Berg came out. You had Berg as a fullback, and Veriano linebacker kind of met, and Berg won that battle. I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be.
Oh yeah.
If you want a good example of how this game is going to go, that was that block right there when Berg was able to put him on his back. That really kind of was a testament of what this game is going to be like. But I wouldn't be surprised if Verendrye doesn't get a little bit of revenge here as the game goes on.
Spartan showing blitz. They're going to hand off. The Sentinels are going to hand off to Berg. Berg's going to be awfully close to a first down. I believe he has it. But the Spartans, they had all their linebackers up and lined up right along that you see it here. They're showing a lot of blitz, and the North Sentinels still able to get that push up front.
Yeah, I think that's something I think you're going to see. Again, you're going to see Minot North's coaching staff. You're going to load up the box like that. That's what we want. We want you to bring defenders down in there, because now we're either going to try to stretch the field on the jet sweep, or we're going to go play action on you.
Well, it's going to be I formation, 2 to the right for Blickery. Blickery going to send a man in motion. Now he's going to roll out right up the middle, looking for Jack Juanette, and it is right out of his reach. And Blickery took a shot there, but the play was almost. Let's take a look at this on our Ryan Family Dealership. Jack Juanette runs a nice route here, but Blickery kind of shortens up that as he sends pressure.
Yeah, I like the play call. It was a good, let's fake the toss, let's get. And I think if Blickery had time to kind of step in and make that throw, I think that could have very well been a nice long completion. But great job by the Fargo North getting a nice pass rush and getting their hands up and getting in, kind of disrupting that pass a little bit. But that's something, again, we've seen that now. We're seeing the flow to the ball, and now we're going to come back and give you a little something different here when you're Minot North.
Fargo North having some issues right now. And it looks like they're going to call a timeout, so we'll take time as well. Coach Holman wants to speak to his squad. This timeout is brought to you by Verendrye National Bank and Trust. Right now, 11:09 left in the first half. Minot North 6, Fargo North 0. We'll be back after a break.
If the job involves dirt, we can tackle it. Dig It Up Backhoe Service. Site preparation, demolition, road building and grade raises, culvert installation, directional drilling, and every kind of dig. No job too big or too small. It's Dig It Up Backhoe Service. Find them online, digitupbackhoe.com, or call 701-722-3315. It's Dig It Up Backhoe.
Welcome back to PSB's coverage of Friday Night Lights, football style. My name is Dallas Hanson alongside Corey McIver. We've got a lot of games going on tonight. We appreciate the ND score feed on the bottom there, as you can check out some scores throughout the evening. Minot High taking on number 2 Shanley, I believe, Corey. Yep. And right now that ball game's, what did you say?
Tied at 13.
And we've also got Velva right now taking on DLB in DLB, and that score is 8-0 Velva. So a lot of talented teams here in the northern part of North Dakota. Blickery, he's going to drop back to pass. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Blickery's going to make a man miss. Goes up another one. Blickery's going to gain a few yards, and they're going to, ooh, how about that? Almost that strip. That was a beautiful play by Matthew Craigness, but Blickery picks up enough.
Yeah, that was a nice designed draw play. Let's get the 3 receivers out. Let's spread the field. Blickery does a good job of selling that he's going to go over the pass, and then I'd just like to see him maybe take care of the football a little bit, because it looked like you had from some Fargo North defenders going in there trying to strip that thing out. So, fight for that extra yard, but once you've realized that you're not going to get any more, you're better off just covering up and going down, but a nice second down pickup gives a much more manageable third down.
One of the more talented parts. Look at Veriano comes up. Not tonight. It's the Italian stallion. Veriano with a statement tackle. How about that play?
Yeah, that was just great recognition, and just he knew he was coming in for that blitz, and he saw that hole open up.
Talk about timing,
and
Corey.
that was a great. He timed that snap just perfect, and he was able to kind of get back there, and that was a big stop there by Fargo North, and able to stop Minot North's drive there and get force a punt, and again we're going to get some good field position for Fargo North.
So the Sentinels will have to punt. The punt is away, and it's a end-over-end one. It's going to go deep. Fair caught right at the 42-yard line. The catch there by Jacob Sagi, as we're going to have the Fargo North Spartans are going to trot back on the field and try to even this one up, or maybe even take the lead. We'll be back after a short break, and a thank to our sponsors.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens, that's oil change-anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
My apologies to Valvoline Instant Oil Change there. North is on the field. They're going to hand off to the man they've been giving the football to a lot. It's Lockwood. Lockwood with a lot of space. He's going to pick up the first down and more. So that pistol formation with all the motion again.
Yeah, they kind of got lucky. I think the snap was a little high there for Fargo North, but Doherty was able to kind of get that snap down and get it to Lockwood. And yeah, they're just having they're having really good success with running that sweep play.
Hold on, we have a penalty. So one of our Whitecaps tonight, Brandon Weber, with a face mask that goes against Minot North. Hey, folks, if you're in Minot, I got a place for you to eat. It's the best pizza on the planet. It's Planet Pizza. They have been around for over 25 years. They have the largest laser tag playground in the region, a giant lunch buffet, and they deliver. Call now at 701-852-1700. So the Spartans with that pistol, player to watch, number 22. That is Mikkel Lockwood. They're going to give it to Lockwood again. Lockwood's got some space. This kid's got some juice. Look at him go. First down and more as Lockwood gets a nice 14-yard carry.
Yeah, they're just going to have a steady dose of Lockwood here. I think they're having good success running that sweep. But if you look here, you see, You see the quarterback kind of boot out there. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to come out with some kind of boot action off that sweep. I know they've got that. They probably have that in their hip pocket. Again, they're watching to see the flow of the defenders to see what's going to happen. But don't be surprised if they come back with some play action here off that sweep.
Kellen Doherty, the quarterback, he's about 4 yards behind, sends a man in motion. This time it's Owen Poole. They're going to hand it off to Owen. He's going to make a man miss, but that's going to be a good job defensively. One of the players in there was number 66, Max Hall, the junior, 240, 5'10".
Yeah, that was a great job defensively. They did try to, set up something a little different as far as, coming back with that counter, but great job there by Minot North, the defensive line of North there to kind of shoot the gap there, and Berg was there to help kind of follow up and clean up afterwards.
2nd and 10 for the Spartans, trying to get a score themselves. Fake to Doherty's going to fake, looks in wide open. Nice catch there by the big man, 8'5". That is Parnell Preston, the junior. So Parnell, what about that route by the tight end? That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was a great job. Again, that's a play action off that sweep there, and Parnell just comes across and he just sits down in that soft zone there, and a high catch. But when you've got a nice target like that, you can throw it up there a little bit, and he's got some nice hands there and able to come down with that. So a nice drive here for Fargo North after getting that short field on the punt.
Appreciate Ryan Family Dealership for supplying that replay. 1st and 10. Doherty, he's going to keep it himself. Kellen goes in. No dice there as he's going to pick up about 3. Excuse me, I thought he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, but Doherty, nice savvy run there to pick up 3. This red zone is brought to you by SurfPro, 24/7 emergency service, trained technicians, advanced technology, fire and water cleanup and restoration. It's SurfPro. Well, here we go, partner. Checking into the ballgame, Mikkel Lockwood. He comes back in. This is a big 2nd down, if you're asking me. 7:36 to go. And, Corey, one thing that Minot North fans kind of getting a little hostile, if you will, that clock has been running a long time on this drive. Lockwood goes in motion. They give it right back to him. Lockwood's going to try to find some space. Lockwood carries a couple Sentinels with him. He's going to be awfully close to that 1st and goal area. Let's see if they got it in the Ryan Family Dealership instant replay.
I've just been so impressed with it. The offensive line play. They run this sweep so well that these pulling guys just get up there and they get up to that 2nd level, and Lockwood is just shifty enough. He just gets behind him and just kind of stays behind until he sees that sliver and he breaks it off.
So he didn't get the 1st down. So it's 3rd and 1 for Fargo North. They couldn't capitalize last time they were in the red zone. Can they do it tonight? Under center. It's going to be a quarterback keeper, Doherty. He's looking for the end zone. Got a man caught in the corner. Did he get it? Let's see. Officials getting together. They're discussing. Officials taking their time with this call. Touchdown, Fargo North. How about that play, Corey McIver?
That was a good rollout there, but I mean, even a better job by the receiver, just being able, and not a whole lot of room there. He just kind of threw it where the receiver could go and get it, and he was just able to get the feet in bounds on the touchdown.
What a catch and what a throw. That was Charles Larson with the beautiful footwork to get that 6. Now onto the extra point is Connor Amundsen. Amundsen puts it right through downtown. So how about this? Don't go anywhere, folks. We've got a ball game brewing here north of the hill at Minot North Campus, First Western Bank Field. The Spartans showing some life here, 7-6 against the Sentinels. 6:35 to go in the first half. Don't touch that dial. Welcome back to PSP Network. My name is Dallas Hanson alongside Corey McIver. Let's take another look at that beautiful play here as you see Kellen Doherty roll out, and he's going to look for Charles Larson here in the corner. Takes his time.
Yeah, again, that's a good rollout, good pass. And again, he throws that only where his guy can get it. If his guy's not going to catch it, it's going to be out of bounds. He's not going to give Minot North a chance to get another interception. He put that exactly where he needed it to, that back pylon area. Just tell those guys, just go to the back pylon, we'll throw it there. A good drive there for Fargo North. Yeah, and like you said during that drive, that clock just kept ticking and ticking and ticking. There was a lot of time that came off the clock. But Minot North now, let's get a good return here on the kick, and let's get our own drive going here, and let's see if we can use as much of this 6.5 left before halftime as we can.
Well, it's standing room only here at Minot North. Out to kick is Connor Amundsen. He's going to give a boot to this one, and it's a beautiful kick way down to the 5. But it's going to go out of bounds, so that's a penalty. It actually goes out at the 10-yard line. Jack Winnett said, I ain't touching that thing. It goes out of bounds, so we're going to have a penalty flag. That's the old broadcaster's jinx, Corey, how they do that. But out trots the Sentinels, and we saw a little bit of Dedman here, a couple series. Haven't seen him much since, but what do you expect out of Minot North this go-round?
Well, I think now that, with that kick going out of bounds, they're going to have some good field position to start this drive, and I think they're not going to really change a whole lot. They're going to line up and they're going to run the ball. They've had success. They just kind of faltered a little bit. This is going to be a good little chess match here in this last 6.5 here before halftime. Can Minot North put a nice drive together and chew up some clock?
In motion goes Hannon. They're going to give it to Cooper Chick. Chick trying to make something out of nothing. Tackle there goes to Leighton Olson of Fargo North. So he picks up a few. That's going to bring up 2nd and 8. Want to make sure to thank our sponsors tonight, one of them being Minot State. The best way to predict your future is to create it. With over 100 areas of study at Minot State, you'll earn the degree for the career you desire. With 96% of recent Minot State grads employed or continuing their education, MSU grads get jobs, period. Minot State University, be seen, be heard, be you. Hannon. He's going to be himself. He's going to take the end around. Hannon's got some space. 2-4's loose. Look at 2-4 go. The 40, 35 out at the 35, and that's the spark that Minot North needed.
That was a great time to dial that thing up. That was a good job. They had a nice kick-out block there. The receiver, he was able to cut in right underneath that, and then it was just wide open space. And a great job by that Fargo North defender to take that nice angle, saving the touchdown pretty much, forcing him out of bounds. But that was a big play that Minot North needed.
Cooper Chick with a carry right up the middle. Chick's got some space, but the referees say, I think one of those guys might have held. We've got some laundry on the field. That was a good job by Noah Olhauser, as you contributed to last couple plays ago there, partner. But we've got a holding. Let's see what the referee says. They'll get together and discuss. So it's holding against number 78. So they'll move back a little bit. So after the big Hannon run, it's going to be 1st and 15 for the Sentinels, and I know Coach Holman is not happy with those penalties.
No, that's the unfortunate thing. You get a big play like that, and you give it right back with a penalty. So Minot North's got to do a good job here of picking that up.
Blickery rolls out to his right. He's going to go deep. He's got it. Jack Juanette wide open. Josiah, did he get it? Did Jack Juanette get it? Let's see. Did he catch it? I believe he did from up here. Looked good. And they're going to call it incomplete. Let's take another look at this one on the Ryan Family Dealership instant replay.
Well, you have the sideline official here on the Minot side who called it incomplete. I think he said he wasn't quite able to keep that foot in bounds. I think it was close, but I think the referee down the sideline had a good view of it. At least had a good view. It was unobstructed, but made that call. But great job. I think, Blickery, if, we can get that pass maybe a little closer, away from the sideline as much. But when you're wide open like that, we talked about it last week.
That's 2 for Jack Juanette. Now he catches this one. Jack Juanette trying to make a little room here, picks up about 2, but that's 2 plays now where Jack Juanette had wide open green pastures ahead of him, and they're not able to complete it.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing.
Missed opportunity.
That was a big missed opportunity on first down. They did a great job of the play action, and Jack Juanette was able to kind of get behind everybody, and that was going to be that play that was going to get everything back. But they're still, it's still manageable. It's 3rd and long. You're going to see probably Fargo North maybe drop back into some zone coverage here and just kind of force them to, complete the pass underneath and then rally to the football.
Blickery's got 3 to his left, 1 to his right. He's going to drop back to pass. Blickery. He's going to run. Blickery's got some wheels on it. Look at the double one. Oh, what a hit! What a hit! My goodness. They're out there hitting tonight, boys. That was Brody Fowler. with the big hit on QB1. Let's take another look at this one on the Ryan family dealership.
Yeah, that was a great job. Blickery picking up as much as he can. He gets a nice little 4th and short, but yeah, he comes back across the middle of the field and he gets introduced to the Fargo North defender real quick here. And
boom!
Comes through, and great job of holding on to the football here. That could have easily been, that easily could have been popped out there, but a great job. He was ready to kind of scoot there through back to the middle. So able to get back a lot of yards here. 4th and short here for Minot North.
Blickery's going to go under center, split back now, sends Hennon in motion, go with the hard count, and we're going to have another. That's the 3rd time that's happened on Fargo North. They jump Blickery. I'd love to have a mic down there to hear this hard count because it's working.
Oh, that was a great job. That was something that, hey, let's pick this up. We know that we know Fargo North is aggressive here. They want to get after it. They've got the momentum. They've got the lead, and they're coming after you. And to take advantage of that and force them to give you a first down to keep the drive going. Now it's really important. Now Minot North's got to take care of the football and get this thing in the end zone.
Tyler Kippen just checked in for the Sentinels offense. Blickery just talked to Coach Holman. Now he tells the boys what play they're going to call. 4:20 in, counting clock running as the Sentinels down by 1 point here. It's been a whale of a first half if you're just now joining us. Split back for Blickery. Sends a man in motion. It's Hannon yet again. Hannon, he's going to nice dive here by Blickery. He's got boys in front of him, but how about Veriano? He gets a one stop, and then finishing up the job was Jeremiah Satcher. So you see the defensive effort there as they just fill. One man hits, another man finishes.
Yeah, Veriano's doing a great job. He wasn't really fooled off. They were kind of hoping to get those guys fooled a little bit, but Veriano was not fooled at that one bit, and he was able to come up and make that, like you said, made that first contact. But more importantly, the guys rallied to the ball, because knowing that if the first guy misses, we're there to clean up the mess.
Blickery's going to hand off to Dedman up the middle. Christian, nice spin move, but he's downed. I believe after a close play for first down, it was 2nd and 6. He picked up all of 5 yards. The clock continues to run as they're going to go no huddle here. It's 3rd and short. 3rd and it's not even a yard. This is inches, folks. Blickery is going to be in I formation. Here comes the fullback dive to Berg. Fumbling, bumbling, stumbling Berg. He's able to bring it to the 2-yard line. How about Evan Berg tonight?
Yeah, I love the fact that Minot North they're hurrying up and they're getting to the line of scrimmage, and they're waiting for it. As soon as the ball is set, they're under center and they're ready to go.
We're going to get right back to the action. Blickery hands off to Berg again. Berg is stopped by a host of defenders, one of them being number big 5'8", that's Noah Upgrand, and number 67. We talked about this defensive line, about Finnegan, Kilty. A couple of these guys might play at the next level. I mean, they've got some talent.
Yeah, that was a nice surge there by the defensive line. That was, again, Minot North tried to go a little hurry up and tried to sneak Berg in there a little bit. They may have lost a yard here a little bit, got to push back, but a good job of, hey, we got the first down, but let's go ahead and let's get to the line of scrimmage and let's go, and let's not let Fargo North, try to sub or anything. Let's see if we can't catch them off guard.
2nd and goal from the SurfPro red zone. Blickery under center. He's going to play action, rolls out to his right. Blickery, nice move inside. Blickery's going to score. Sentinels score a touchdown, and they take the lead. 2:24 to go. Minot North faithful sound and applause.
Yeah, Blickery does such a great job on that boot fake. He hides that football. It freezes the linebackers. It doesn't really give them a chance to find out where the ball is, and then does just a great job of getting out in space, and then makes that one guy miss, and then it's just downhill, and he's going to get his head down and try to get in the end zone.
Trots out Joseph Olson, the kicker. He missed his first attempt. He's going to try his second now with 2:24 to go in the first half. The kick is up, and it is a fake. How about this? It goes to Hannon. How about that? Minot North's got some tricks up their sleeve. Is this a circus? No, it's homecoming. Minot North, oh my heavens. Let's take a look at our Ryan Family Dealership instant replay.
Oh, he did a great job. I mean, they were selling out. They were coming on the block, and that outside defender, that Fargo North guy, his job is, you've got guys that are going to block the kick. Somebody's got to keep eyes on the holder, and he just kind of lost track of where the holder was at, and he was able, and it was just a walk in for the 2-point, a much needed 2-point conversion, gets them back up by 7.
Well, a lot of people said we had the game of the night. I think we got the game of the state. This has been amazing so far. Thank you for joining us here on PSP's coverage of Friday Night Frenzy. We've got 4 other games happening right here on this YouTube channel. And the best part about it is it's all for free. All you have to do is Share this feed with friends and family. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. Give us a thumbs up, comment on a few of these videos. All the videos are available for replay as much as your little heart might desire. My name is Dallas Hansen alongside Corey McIver. Thank you for joining us here. The lights are bright. The #1 team in AA, Minot North, getting a very big test here with 2:24 to go against the Fargo North Spartans, who, let's just be honest here, the Fargo North is showing no fear.
No, absolutely none, and that's something you'd like to see. You know, Minot North is giving Fargo North everything they can handle, and Fargo North, for their credit, is holding toe for toe, and just a couple miscues offensively, and otherwise this thing might be a little different.
Bringing it back is Lucas Jackson. Jackson's going to be tackled. Nice special teams there by Lucas Richson. So now it is Fargo North's time. The Spartans under head coach Brent Miller. Talking to Coach Miller a little bit at the 50-yard line before the game. You just get a feeling of who a person is when they shake your hand. And Brent Miller, I'm pretty sure, broke all of my fingers. I mean, he's a football guy, a football cat, and I appreciate him. And the way he has his team prepared tonight, offensively, defensively, you got to have a tip of the cap.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, Brent Miller is a former college football player, played at Valley City State. In that kind of program, as a somebody that went to Valley City State myself and worked with the football program. I mean, that's just he was just one guy that was just a hard-nosed player, and he's a hard-nosed coach, and he always has his team ready to play.
Doherty rolls out to the right, avoids contact. Oh, and it's dropped. Charles Larson thought he had it. What a beautiful defensive play by Gavin Toby. So Toby, who had the pick, then he's almost a magnet to the football. Toby with a nice swipe.
Yeah, that was a great closing there by Toby. I like the fact, Doherty's getting out in space, and Larson, his big receivers, getting out there, and they've got a nice little chemistry there. Again, there's no panic there for Fargo North. 2 minutes left. They can run the field. They got a couple timeouts in their back pocket. Their offensive playbook is wide open for them as far as what they want to do in this last 2 minutes before halftime.
Twins right. On the backfield is Mikhail Lockwood. Lockwood goes in motion. Doherty's going to keep it. Options it out to Lockwood. He's got some space. Lockwood looking for a block on the outside. Tackle's going to go to who other than Gavin Toby, who's getting a plateful tonight defensively. But Lockwood, when he gets a ball in space, you just don't know. He might score.
They do such a great job of giving him opportunities to get in space, whether it's the jet sweep or the option. Toby did a great job coming off that block and making the tackle, but again, that's 8-9 yards down the field. So a good second down pickup, manageable third down for North. Let's see if Minot North here can hold them and force a punt.
Doherty's going to go with the curl route. It's wide open on the outside. Nice catch by Jacob Soggy. Soggy's going to be tackled. They got him down here, so the clock will stop. That was a huge 3rd down and 3 to convert that.
Big first down. Minot North did a great job. They don't want to get beat anything deep, so they're going to allow the stuff underneath. A good first down here for North. Fargo North moves the chains, keeps the clock running.
Spartans got 2 timeouts. They're going to go with the curl out again. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage. Nice play down low. That was William Bentley, the big D lineman, 6'1", 220, a senior. So Bentley tips the football at the line of scrimmage. That brings out 2nd and 10. Spartans have 2 timeouts, and they got about 54 yards to go. Can they do it, Corey?
Yeah, like you said, with 54 yards, 2 timeouts. The way Lockwood's running the football and Doherty is actually slinging it over to his receivers, there's no doubt in my mind they're going to have an opportunity to get some points on the board. Great stand there. Good job on that pass rush, getting your hands up in the air, tipping that ball.
Doherty drops back to pass. 3 wide receivers go out. He tries to get it back to Jacob Soggy, who's been, let's say he's wide receiver number 1 because he's got multiple targets on this drive.
Yeah. They look at him. It kind of looked like he wanted maybe to come back on that pass behind and kind of slipped on the turf there a little bit. A big third down here for Minot North defensively. Again, if you're going to play a little zone coverage, allow them to catch that ball in front of you, but then you got to rally to the ball and make the tackle. Give up the 5 yards on the catch, but you got to make sure you come up and make the tackle.
Don't forget about our halftime show brought to you by Moonlight Home Improvement. That's coming up in 1 minute and 19 seconds. The crowd's coming alive here at First Western Bank Field. 3rd and 10 for the Spartans. They're going to go deep. Doherty starts to launch one. It's any man's ball. Oh, and it's incomplete. Let's watch that one back again as it looks like Gunnar Snowden got caught up at the line of scrimmage. Let's see here. We'll have to watch number 14, top of your screen. We'll have to see what happens to the route here. He goes out, gets clean. Just a miscommunication.
I think he was expecting maybe a stutter and go, but you saw the linebacking crew from Minot North. Everybody kind of dropped back to get to the sticks. They weren't going to let them get deep on them.
Ooh, almost a blocked punt there. Good job by the punter to get that one off. It goes out to the 32-yard line. So with 1:06 to go, what do you see Coach Holman doing, Corey? Do you see him just a few runs, try to get the timeout here on the BNC National Bank scoreboard, or you see him maybe being a more aggressive attack?
Well, again, I mean, you're looking, they're sitting at the 35-yard line. They've got a minute. They've got 2 timeouts in their back pocket. Let's see what happens. Maybe get a big play here, first, second down, get yourself on the other side of the 50, and then you can take some shots to the end zone. Obviously, if they falter here a little bit, let's just get the clock out. But again, you got Fargo North sitting with 2 timeouts. If Fargo North can force them behind the sticks a little bit, call a couple timeouts, save some clock, force them into a punting situation.
Blickery hands off to the big man. Look at the fullback. Beautiful play there by Evan Berg. Puts his head down and took 2 Spartans with him. So again, like you're saying, Corey, get on the football, get on the football. They have 2 timeouts, 53 seconds and counting. It's 2nd and 1. Blickery, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. Blickery's going to throw to the outside. Nice catch by Chick. Chick eludes 1. He's going to keep going. Nice job to get out of bounds as the clock will stop. Excuse me, that was Gavin Toby. I got to get used to Gavin Toby. He can make plays. He had the interception, a couple defensive plays, so it's going to be 1st down and more. And look at Minot North. They can throw the football.
Yep, that's exactly what Minot North wanted. They got a big play on 1st down. They were able to get a big play here on 2nd down. Got themselves on the other side of the 50. 42 seconds left, 2 timeouts. They can take some shots at the end zone.
If you're a Spartan fan, this is a huge drive for your defense right now. You need a stop, and you need it now. Blickery drops the snap, picks it up. He's going to look deep, then he's going to decide to run. Beautiful drop, but I believe there was a face mask as Fargo North did everything right, but got a little fistful of face masks. That was Brody Fowler on the sack. Let's see what they call here.
Yeah, I think Blickery's trying to get away, and I think unfortunately, I think that the defensive lineman there, Fargo North, got his hands up a little too high and got a hold of the face mask. Now it's going to be a question: is it going to be the 5-yard or is it going to be a 15-yard?
So it is a 15-yard penalty. So that will help Minot North's offense graciously, as they are already down to the 22-yard line, 36 seconds to go. Still have 2 timeouts, 1st and 10. Minot North's going to have trips right, 1 to the left. A player to watch is, where's number 1 right now? Josiah Jacquinette in the slot. Blickery, he's going to drop back. It's going to be a screen to Berg. Berg's got a lot of players in front of him and some grass. Evan Berg still going. Berg finally gets tackled down, but a good job there on the screen, and Minot North loves their screens.
Good play call there, Minot North. They saw the aggressiveness of that defensive front coming after. Good time to dial up that screen pass to Berg.
Blickery, he's going to take it himself. Blickery's going to pick up the 1st down and more. He gets down to the 2-yard line, 22 seconds to go, and we're going to have a timeout by Minot North and Coach Holman. Let's take another look on the Ryan family dealership of Blickery just putting the team on his back this drive.
Yeah, this is these last 2 drives for Minot North. Blickery he's put their team on the team on their back, and he's getting them down the field, and it all started back to that big 1st down run. And in that short 2nd down, the big pass completion on 2nd and short, and got them down. And now they're benefiting from that 15-yard face mask penalty. And now they're knocking on the door. They still have 1 timeout. You can still run the football a couple times if you want. Call it and use your timeout when you want to. But good opportunity here for Minot North to put a score in late going into halftime, and they get the ball to start the 2nd half.
Well, good job there by number 72 for Fargo North, Jacob Warner, just to hold on to Blickery there. This red zone is brought to you by SurfPro, 24/7 emergency service, fire and water cleanup and restoration at SurfPro. Don't forget about our Moonlight Home Improvement halftime show. Corey and I will talk about some stats, about some players, and what we think the 2nd half will include, but we've got a big 22 seconds to go here still in the 1st half. Minot North looking to go up by at least, maybe we could even see 14 points. Time will tell. Can Fargo North's defense step up right now? We got some motion right from the get-go. Blickery's going to be alone by himself. You rarely see this. Jacquinette goes in motion. They give it to Jacquinette. Jacquinette makes a move. He's in. Touchdown, sizzling Sentinels. Jacquinette makes the most of it and goes for 6.
Yeah, that was a good play call. You know, as soon as you saw everybody shift over over to that left side. You knew that, and you saw Jack Winnett going in motion. You knew that was going to be a sweep play from him. Great job of putting his foot in the dirt and getting downhill as soon as he saw that seam break in. A good answer, good score here for Minot North. Extra point's going to put them up 14.
Well, I bet Fargo North's going to be paying attention outside contain this time. Olsen's going to go for the extra point. It's up, and it's right downtown. So your score right now with 19 seconds to go. Sentinels 21, Spartan 7. We still got 19 seconds to go, so don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with Kickoff.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
My name is Dallas Hansen alongside Corey McIver. Partner, you just saw something on the sidelines. You want to go ahead and report it?
Well, I just noticed on that last drive that Dedmon Good is not number 52. Their good offensive and defensive lineman that went out in that first defensive series. He's kind of roaming the sidelines here. Doesn't obviously doesn't have his helmet on. Doesn't look like he's got his shoulder pads on, but. This is the first time I noticed that he was on the sideline and how well Minot North's offense is going. You didn't even realize that one of their star offensive linemen weren't even on the game.
Olsen sends it deep, picked up by Lucas Jackson. Jackson's got a hole. Lucas Jackson brings it out to the 34-yard line, so a nice return there for Fargo North, who's going to set up shop here. 14 seconds to go. Down 14. I just cannot get over how big that drive was that Minot North just had. 1:11 and change. And they get a score.
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
That was a huge drive. Starting at the 35, being able to again 2 plays and you're already across the 50. You get a 15-yard face mask penalty, pushes you down even more, and then Jack and that being able to punch that thing in. But Fargo North, you got 14 seconds. You're at your 30. You're at the 35. You've got a couple timeouts, 2 big plays, and you're within striking distance to put some points on the board.
So Doherty, who's played well tonight, has the 1 touchdown pass. He's going to send a man in motion. It's Lockwood. Lockwood's going to get it. He's got some room to the outside. Can he get out of bounds and save the clock? First down and more. What a beautiful, beautiful block there. That was by Jacob Sagi. How about that play? We talk about him hitting out there.
You talk about those. You talk about those offensive linemen doing pancake blocks. When your wide receiver can do the same thing an offensive lineman can do, that that's just a great job of getting in there and keeping that defensive back on there and being able to plant him. Great job there, Fargo North getting the first down. Being able to get ready and continue to move the ball down the field.
7 seconds left. First down and 10 for Fargo North. Twins left. Doherty sends Lockwood in motion again. Another handoff to Lockwood. This time he's going to try to bounce around, but no dice. Not up in here, says the big man, Max Hall, the 5'10", 240 player. Max Hall looks jacked up tonight. So are we. It's PSP's Friday night coverage of Football Frenzy. Your score at half, Minot North 21, Fargo North 7. Moonlight Home Improvement Show coming up just shortly.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by
Hold on, folks. Hold on here. We've got the officials got together, and they're going to put 1 second back on the clock. There was a timeout called, so we're going to have 1 second here with 2nd and 16. Look at, they got 4. Minot North has 4 deep guys. Jack Juanette joined alongside Cameron Jez and 2 others. I believe one of them is Gavin Toby. So it's 2nd and 15. 2 to the right. Doherty, he's going to hand off to Lockwood. Lockwood's just going to spin around. He's gobbled up. Wow, nice defensive play there by Braxton Thompson. Now it is halftime here at Homecoming Week. My name is Dallas Hansen alongside Corey McIver. Thank you for being here tonight. Coming up just shortly, it's the Moonlight Home Improvement Show. Don't touch that dial. Spartans struggling right now, but looking to get back into the football game.
Presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Not everyone starts their day at the same time or in the same way. But no matter when or how, Verendrye Electric Cooperative is there to help power every moment of it in countless ways. Because whenever it starts, one thing is certain. We never stop. Verendrye Electric Cooperative is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, your source for power and information.
If you're in the Minot area and looking for a rental, start here. I just moved and had no idea where to begin, but then I found Creative Property Management. They've got the most listings in town, apartments, townhomes, even single-family homes. They made it easy, helped me find a place that felt like home, and their 24/7 maintenance means no stress. Whether you're new to the area or just ready for a change, book a tour with CPM today.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. SurfPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Welcome back to Moonlight Home Improvement Halftime Show. Right now, your score, Minot North Sentinels getting the best of Fargo North, 21-7. Again, Moonlight Halftime Show. Moonlight Home Improvement, they're your home renovation specialists in the Magic City. If you've been putting off that basement, kitchen, bathroom, or any interior renovation, now is the time. Book your free estimate with MHI. And hey, listen to this, folks. Mention PSP Network and get up to 10% off your project's invoice. Call Drew now, 701-721-4612, or head to moonlighthomeimprovement.com. You know, Corey, I know Drew pretty well from Moonlight Home Improvement. Salt of the earth human being, one of those guys that works really hard, excellent craftsman, and Moonlight Home Improvement is the place to go for all those renovations. Let's get back to football now as we've got homecoming court going on down at the 50-yard line. Appreciate all those that have joined us tonight. My name is Dallas Hansen alongside Corey McIver. Let's start off with the Spartans from Fargo North. They have a couple nice drives. They throw an interception right when you seem like momentum was starting to shift their way for the entire game. Go back on defense, get some stops, but other than the nice play in the red zone with the nice catch, what did you see from Fargo North?
I saw, obviously they're having success with Lockwood running that sweep, and I think you're going to see that more. Minot's doing a great job of flowing to the ball, and the problem with Minot North is Fargo North is able to get 6-7 yards on that sweep play. but they're also seeing how quickly Minot North is flying to the ball there.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised in the second half. We start to see a boot, some kind of counter action coming off that. If you're Coach Miller and the coaching staff in the locker room right now, you say, hey, yeah, we're down 2 scores, but we're having success. We're moving the ball. Our defense is playing well. We just need that one little thing to kind of get momentum on our side, and whether it's getting a good return on the second half kickoff, is it going to be a turnover that they need? Is it going to be something that kind of sparks them to get them some momentum? I don't, as far as panic, I don't anticipate. I don't see any panic as far as what they're going to do offensively in this second half. I think they're going to still keep doing what they're doing because they're having success with it. They just have to find some way to get a spark, tip their momentum in their favor here in the second half.
You've been listening to our Moonlight Home Improvement Halftime Show. Call Drew now, 701-721-4612, or at moonlighthomeimprovement.com. Now looking at the homecoming future king and queens here on the 50-yard line. The Sentinels, number 1 team in AA football. It's no secret to their success. They like running the ball. We've seen some miscues, though, with the passing game. Jack Juanette had 2 wide open passes. He arguably might have caught that one, but then the one up the middle wasn't even close to home. But are they going to keep the passing game kind of in the arsenal?
I think so. I think they're sitting in a pretty good spot here. They're up 2 scores. They're having success running the football, which is their MO, their bread and butter. They like to do that. They're going to continue to do that. And when Coach Holman feels the time is right, they're going to come out with some kind of play action. But more importantly, they're going to give Blickery the opportunity to get out in space, and if he can tuck it in and run, take it himself. If not, he throws a pretty good ball. He's smart enough to realize he's not going to force it into a situation. They're going to take care of the football here in the second half. We're going to see a steady dose of run, and then they're going to sprinkle in the pass here when they feel they need to do it.
You've been listening to Moonlight Home Improvement Halftime Show. Call Drew at 701-721-4612. Let's put the coaching cap on you right now, Corey. And if you're the Spartans and you're talking in there and you're trying to figure out a way to come back, you're down 14, what are you telling your team?
I think right now I'm telling them, hey, I did make the mistake. It's Fargo North that gets the ball here to start the second half. So let's get a good return, get ourselves a good spot. And our offense has shown we can move the football. We had a nice drive resulted in a touchdown. We know we can do it. We can do it again. And more importantly, if we can do that, we can keep the ball. We keep the clock running. More importantly, we keep Minot North's offense off the field, and that's what we want. And then our defense can just rally like they have been, and like they've always have been, and just eliminating the big play opportunity that Minot North was able to capitalize in the first half. Fargo North, again, there's no sense of panic. There's no need to panic right now. We get the ball to start the second half. Let's go down and let's put one in, and let's get down by 1 score.
Well, we just named King and Queen a homecoming here at Minot North. King goes to William Bentley, the senior. I apologize, I did not catch the Queen's name from the PA, but Bentley gets it. He'll now head out quickly to the locker room. Let's switch caps for you, Corey, if you will. Now you're Coach Holman. You've got all the pressure on you with a AAA team coming in here. You're up 14. How do you keep this lead?
I think, if you're Coach Holman and that coaching staff offensively, we're not changing anything. We're going to run the football. Like I said, we're going to run the football, and we'll sprinkle in the pass when we need to. The big thing I think is you have to take a look on the other side of the ball defensively. What kind of adjustments is Coach Rudolph going to make defensively? Because they've been giving up some big chunk plays. This week they gave some up last week against Grand Forks Red River. What kind of adjustments is Zach Rudolph going to be able to make here defensively? And I think they've done a great job. The big thing is they just got to be able to stay home when Lockwood goes away on that sweep, because they're going to try to come back they're going to maybe try to come back to you on a counter. But defensively, keep rallying to the ball. If we can, try to strip that thing out. Let's see if we can get another turnover a little bit here. But the big thing is force Fargo North to go the length of the field if they're going to try to score, and put them behind the sticks if you can.
Well, the moon is out here for the Moonlight Home Improvement Halftime Show. Not only do we have this game, but we've got a football frenzy brought to you by Bones Barbecue. I eat there every Sunday. It reminds me of Arrowhead. My favorite team is the Chiefs. I love barbecue, and Bones Barbecue is the best place in North Dakota to have your barbecue meal. Minot High versus Shanley, they're on our partner program here at PSP Network. And how about West Fargo Century? That's going to be a mighty fine game. And then we got us, Fargo North versus Minot North. Central Cass versus the Dickinson Mavericks. That's right, the Mavericks switched their nickname. So brand new team, Tiger Fry, the head coach down there doing a good job. And then we've got some A stuff going on. Velva DAG versus DLB. Corey, you got some scores for us?
Yeah, I'm just kind of taking a look at the screen there. Bismarck Century, with about 11 minutes left in the game, is up on West Fargo 29-0.
Wow.
Bismarck Legacy 13-7 over West Fargo Horace. West Fargo Cheyenne up on Mandan 27-20. Minot at halftime leading number 2 Shanley 27-20.
Wow.
We got 3 versus 4 Davies and Bismarck 21-7 Fargo Davies. Grand Forks Red River is leading Williston 49-12, and our score here Minot North 21 over Fargo North 7. Double A, we're looking Grand Forks Central, Watford City playing each other. Grand Forks Central at half is up 27-6. Bismarck St. Mary's is down in Wahpeton. They're playing the Huskies, and they're up 28-14 with about 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Final, number 2 Kindred beat Jamestown 49-6. Devils Lake is up on Fargo South 29-7. Dickinson, we got a little upset alert looking here at halftime. Dickinson is up 14-7 on number 5 Central Cass. So some pretty good games here locally. We'll try to get single A and 9-man here when we come back.
Appreciate Corey McIver. My name is Dallas Hanson. Something new we're doing this year with PSP Network is our Players of the Week, and you sitting at home get a chance to vote on that. It's on our Facebook page and all our social media. All you have to do is check out PSP Network. So here's this week's Player of the Week.
It's time for this week's PSP Network Player Performance of the Week. Powered by the Aggie Foundation and Minot State University. Congratulations to this week's nominees on Big Time Games. The votes are in. And this week's Player Performance of the Week belongs to... Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. And watch for next week's PSP Network Player Performance of the Week, powered by the Aggie Foundation and Minot State University. PSP Network, it's game day.
The Aggie Foundation is a 501c3. Our mission is to really help out the communities that allow us in for charitable gaming.
We are so thankful for Aggie Foundation for giving us the $2,500.
I can't thank the Aggie Foundation enough for what they've done.
Aggie Foundation has been just a great partner for our community.
Some of these programs wouldn't be able to continue on without funding from programs like this.
We're always looking for new partners, new communities to be in. If we can make an impact in that community, we will.
Magic City Home Leisure is excited to introduce the fabulous edition of the Master Spas line, including the phenomenal Michael Phelps Swim Spas. Enjoy the relaxing health benefits and enjoy 0% financing up to 72 months or up to $5,000 off on all spas. You'll also find $2,000 off the MSRP on all pools, swim spas, and saunas. Come see for yourself the outstanding lineup of Master Spas, including the Michael Phelps Swim Spas, exclusively at Magic City Home Leisure.
Not everyone starts their day at the same time or in the same way. But no matter when or how, Verendrye Electric Cooperative is there to help power every moment of it in countless ways. Because whenever it starts, one thing is certain: we never stop. Verendrye Electric Cooperative is a Touchstone Energy cooperative, your source for power and information.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
That concludes our Moonlight Home Improvement halftime show. Make sure to check out Moonlight Home Improvement for all your renovations right here in the Magic City. If you've been putting off that basement, kitchen, bathroom, or any interior renovation, now is the time. Book your free estimate today with MHI. And hey, listen, mention PSP Network and get up to 10% off all projects invoice. Call Drew at 701-721-4612 or head to moonlighthomeimprovement.com. Moonlight, moonlight, won't you be so bright and shine my way home tonight? That's what Fargo North is thinking as they find themselves down 21-7. But the Sentinels, homecoming festivities are underway. They're trying to secure what a great week it's been up here at First Western Bank Field. I got to give it to them for a program that's only been around 2 years. The way they handle themselves, the way they fill the stands. It's standing room only here on our side. They have the big stadium built and kind of the concession stand that goes around down the south side. Beautiful place for a ball game.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. It's always fun to, last year coming up and doing the games, and now the two that we've done here. Their fans show up. They come. The band is playing well. They get cheerleaders leading the student sections are in full force. So it's a great atmosphere to play. They did a really great job of setting this up.
Olsen sends one rather deep. It's going to be picked up at the 3-yard line, brought out by Lucas Jackson. Jackson going to go up the right-hand side on the sideline. Look at Lucas Jackson. Oh, he stepped out of bounds, had a lot of grass in front of him, made it all the way out to the 20-yard line, they're going to say. So out come the Spartans. And we talked a lot at half, Corey, about what they need to do, how they need to do it. But if they're going to make a comeback, we're going to see a lot more of Lockwood and maybe even Doherty with another nice pass to Charles Larson.
Yeah, I think you're going to see this drive is going to be real crucial, I think, for Fargo North. They have to be able to put a nice drive here and like I said, be able to get some points on the board early. They can't have any they can't suffer any mistakes. They can't let Minot North capitalize on any miscues that they have. They have to be able to put a nice drive here, opening drive.
Right on cue, Lockwood gets it. Going to head up the right-hand side up to the 35-40. Makes it out to the 39, so it's going to be 2nd and 1. We want to make sure we pay tribute to everybody that made tonight possible. One of them, First International Bank and Trust. They're a full-service, family-owned, independent community bank built on the bond between our employees and customers. Founded in 1910 and growing to serve rural and urban communities across Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Find them online at fibt.com. We've got a player down. First play from scrimmage in the second half, and a player is down. We don't see a number yet, but we're going to take a short break as the medical staff and Coach Holman are out tending to the Sentinel that is down. We'll be back after a short break.
Sund Manufacturing is hiring exceptional welders, carpenters, assembly technicians, and coating technicians. If you're right for Sund, Sund is right for you. Since 1939, we've been making quality equipment and parts for the oil field and beyond. We're world-class, family-owned, and all-American. And as our business grows, we need to grow our team in Newburgh, North Dakota. Sund Manufacturing offers great pay, great benefits, and a great community to raise a family. Apply today.
Nobody thinks about personal injury until it happens. But when injury strikes, so will your bills and the turmoil and everything you'll miss out on. It's a mess and you need someone to help it all make sense. That someone is Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride. We know the territory and the process, and we work smart and hard to get you results. It's easier to get back to normal knowing there's a team behind you. We're the ones the other side doesn't want you to call. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride.
We are back here, and Corey, you got to see who that player was?
Yeah, that was number 32, Landon Salyards was the man down. But he was able to get up on his own power and get off the field. So good to see again. But a nice little pickup here by Fargo North. Pick up a couple here and make it 2nd and long.
Jace Veriano on the pickup there, and Corey, we've seen a lot of injuries tonight, and Good, who got injured, offensive lineman, but if you're number 1 North and these injuries start to pile up, that's no bueno. As
you got to be careful. The fortunate, like you said, Goods, and now it looks like he's in sweatpants here now on the sideline. So that's something that Minot North's got to be able to take care of.
What a beautiful play there by William Bentley, who tackles Lockwood for no gain. So that brings up third down as we take a look at our Ryan Family Dealerships replay.
Yeah, great job there of being able to run that down from behind because, Lockwood has shown that he can get past the line of scrimmage. He can just scoot and slide all over the place. So that was a big tackle there for a no gain and force Fargo North into a long third down. But you take a look, Doherty's he's going to be able to pick this thing up on his arm if they're able to.
3rd and 9, a big one for the Spartans. Doherty's going to launch one. It's going to be short. Pass was intended for Noah Olhauser, and we've got a laundry flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. Whitecap Brandon Weber.
Yeah, I think he was the one that. It looks like it's going to be a holding penalty against Fargo North because he was looking at Coach Holman there. Yep, it's going to be holding on Fargo North. They're going to decline, force it into a 4th down. That was probably not the outcome that Fargo North wanted here on this opening drive to start the second half. Had that penalty here to negate that. It was incomplete pass anyway. Would have been, Minot North would have been able to force the 4th down anyway. So, great job by Minot North to force a punt situation.
Ooh, we're going to have an encroachment here on Minot North. You know who doesn't mess up, though? That's the UPS store located on South Broadway in Minot. They're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 7, and Saturday, 8:30 to 3. The UPS store located in Marketplace Foods Plaza for all your packaging and shipping needs. That's the UPS store. So we've got a false start. False start will go against Fargo North. So it's just been they're starting to pile up a little bit.
Yeah, I was just about ready to say if that would have went against Minot North, you'd get 5 free yards. Then do you think about going for it?
Right.
But with a false start there, you're.
Oh boy, we're going to have a close to a flag, but they're going to. Yeah, they're going to have to call that one. The punter took a shot there for Fargo North. Let's take another look at our replay here. As coming in, and they've been close to a lot of block punts, but Hannon just got a little too handsy there as he hit the punter.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. And again, they're kind of looking. I can't really tell or can't really see if it's going to be just the 5-yard variety or if it's going to be the personal foul one that would give Fargo North a first down here. So I think they're kind of talking it over to kind of see what's going to go on here.
Well, Fargo North's head coach Brent Miller, Corey, you alluded to earlier, he's a defensive guy. He coaches the defensive backs and linebackers for the Spartan program. And something I had on my notes here about the Spartans is they do every week awards. So the penalty will be declined, but something about these Spartan notes, and I like to bring this up about programs because this is how you make programs great. They got Above the Line Award, the Spartan Pride Award, the Hard Hat Award, and the Trench Award. This week, the Trench Award went to Finn Kitley and Deshaun Taylor, and the Hard Hat Award, which is the hardest working guy, was Lucas Jackson and Brody Fowler. But you know Coach Miller pretty well, and it seems like he's got this program on the up and up.
Yeah, he's taken a lot of things that he learned and played at Valley City State, the mentality, the culture of just hard work and finding guys that will buy into that culture.
They're going to hand off to Hannon here on the end around. He goes way out on the left side. Nice tackle there by Fargo North. One of the guys on the play was Mark Nowicki. So Hannon gets 6 yards. That brings up 2nd and 4 for the Sentinels.
Great pickup there. Great first down pickup there by Hannon. Got a nice chunk, manageable, short second down here. Again, you're going to see a steady dose of different running styles here in the second half for Minot North, and they're going to, wouldn't be surprised if he just turns around and gives this thing to Berg here to try to pick it up. But you've got an opportunity to maybe take a shot down the field with Jack Annette.
Hannon goes in motion again. They fake to him. They give to Evan Berg, the fullback. He's going to try, but a beautiful tackle by a host of defenders. One of them was Jace Verianu. But they are going to say Berg got enough for the first down, so that clock is going to keep rolling here. 9:30 to go. Sentinel football, and we've seen this story develop before, Corey, that they're going to use a lot of this game
they're
clock.
They're going to chew a lot of this game clock up, and that was a good play call there. They had the sweep to Hannon, and they turned around and gave it to Berg, and Berg got his forward momentum halted, but just right after he was able to pick up that first down. So again, we're going to see the clock running here, and Minot North's going to take their time to get. They're going to use all of the play clock too, and they're going to force Fargo North, if they want to stop the clock, they're going to have to use timeouts.
Twins right, the hard count again. Did they get Fargo North? That'll be the 4th time. Blickery doing his best Aaron Rodgers impersonation. They did, so it'll be actually 1st and 5. I want to thank Farstead Oil today for sponsoring our PSP programming. Contact Farstead Oil today to find out how their skilled sales team can help you achieve your wholesale fuel, mobile lubricants, and DEF needs. Proudly serving North Dakota, Montana, and western Minnesota since 1938. Committed to outstanding customer service and reliability. That's Farstead Oil. Chick with a nice carry up, and he gets a first down and more. So whether it's Dedman, Chick, Hannon, whoever, throw a dart at the wall and see whose name it lands on, because that's who might get the football.
Yeah, and as a defensive coach and a defensive coordinator and teams coming up later on in Minot North's schedule, it's like, how do you game plan against a team that can throw 3 or 4 different guys back there on the backfield, and they all have different unique running styles? I mean, it's just something that Minot North will frustrate defensive coordinators and defensive teams for the rest of the year.
They're going to give it back to the big fullback, Berg. He's going to bumble and stumble for a couple yards. Going to bring up 2nd and 4. So Berg getting a heavy dose of the running. Christian Dedman checking back into the football game here. Coach Holman telling quarterback Blickery, hey, take your time coming over to me. We're going to use all of the play clock here.
Yeah, that's one thing, as a coach, you try to tell these guys, hey, let's use the clock. And, of course, these guys, they want to go. But, let's pull back on the reins a little bit. Let's use the clock. The clock's our friend now here in this second half, especially when we have the ball and we're moving down the field.
BNC National Bank scoreboard says there's 7:47 to left. They give it to Christian Dedman. He's awfully close. He might be just an inch short from the first down to bring up 4th and inches, and they're going to go for this, aren't they, Corey? Or 3rd and inches?
That's
excuse
me. 3rd down. Yep. Hey, they've had some success with the hard count, and it wouldn't surprise me to try it again. But 3rd and short. If you got Berg in the backfield, I think it's probably a no-brainer where this ball's going to go.
Very physical runner, that is Evan Berg in the I formation at fullback. Dedman's the running back. Blickery's just going to QB sneak it. He's going to pick up the first down and more. So that'll be first down, Sentinels. And this quarterback sneak, Corey, we've seen a lot tonight from Minot North.
Yeah, just so frustrating because if you want to try to take that away, you're going to load people up into the box, and they're just going to run out to the sideline. So you play a normal traditional defense, and you're going to give up that gap, and Blickery does a great job of recognizing he knows where to go, and all he knew is hey, I just got to fall forward, and I'm going to pick up this first down. So get the snap, secure the snap, the big thing, the first thing, and then just get behind the center and just follow him and get as many get the yard and a half you need.
Philadelphia Eagles run that QB sneak exceptionally well. Well, look out, Minot North, they do it too. This time they're going to give it to Hannon on the end around. Look at the defensive stop, though, filling. Good job, and who other than our guy, Jace Verianu, with another tackle right behind the line of scrimmage, tackle for loss, and that's been their moneymaker tonight is those end arounds to Hannon.
Yeah, they did a great job. Verianu was able to come and clean that up, but you had a couple guys for Fargo North that came in, number 17 Buchanan and number 21 Osmondson came up, and they kind of disrupted that whole thing and then allowed Veriano to come up and clean up. So that was a great job of pursuit there by Fargo North. They're starting to kind of sell out here a little bit, and they're flying up here. Don't be surprised if we see a little play action.
Blickery didn't get the snap. It's a fumble. Blickery's going to try to gather it up. How about that play? Very, very unlike for the Sentinels. Let's take another look on a Ryan Family Dealership instant replay.
Yeah, unfortunately for Fargo North, that was kind of the break that you were kind of hoping you would get.
Yes.
Just either not just paying attention or just kind of kind of a high snap. But great job by Blickery just to fall on it, kind of bumbled it there a little bit, but he was able to secure it. But that was kind of the break if you're Fargo North. That was kind of the break you wanted, but you got a 3rd and a country mile here, so you're going to try to, if you're North, you're just going to try to get as many yards as you can here on this 3rd down and see what happens on 4th.
Blickery, he's going to do a screen to Berg. Berg's got a lot of grass ahead of him. Berg trying to get chased down. Berg's still going. Berg's going to pick up dang near the first down. It's going to be close. He's actually going to be a yard short. So a nice job, and that's what they do a lot. Coach Holman loves those screens.
Well, there's that pass play where you dial up when you needed it, it was there, and that was a great screen. Veriano did the best he could, tried to track him down, but now it's going to be a good here for Minot North.
Blickery going with the hard count again. So Fargo North not fooled this time around. Blickery under center. He's going to go with the QB sneak, picks up the first down and more as the referees will blow the whistle. He picked up, I'll say, 3 yards, but I mean, let's take another look at the replay. Blickery just does it so well.
Well, he did a great job. They hurried up to get to the line of scrimmage, and then he just got underneath the center, and he just started barking it out, trying to see if Fargo North would jump. There was a little bit of flinching there on the defensive line, but didn't cross the line of scrimmage, and then he had the wherewithal to come back and kind of take a look at home and see what we're going to do. The clock's running. We still had plenty of time on the play clock. Let's go ahead and get under center, and hey, it's all you. It's been your show here for the last quarter and a half. Go ahead and pick us up this first down that we needed.
So 1st and 10, 4:28 to go here in the third quarter. Sentinels with a commanding 14-point lead. They're going to send Hannon in motion. They're going to give it back to Hannon on the end around. Hannon makes one man miss, puts on the Jets, but is tackled by a couple Fargo North players. Let's take another look at this one on Ryan Family Dealership because it was kind of a misdirection.
Yeah.
We're used to seeing Hannon get it right off the motion there, but this time.
Nice little wrinkle there on the sweep, and then we're going to fake the dive and then come back with the end around.
Blickery not wasting any time. They give it to Chick. Chick's going to pick up 1 yard, so that brings up 3rd and 1 for the Sentinels. Appreciate Ryan Family Dealership. At Ryan Dealership, the commitment and respect for their customers is as strong today as it was 50 years ago. Experience a difference when you visit one of our 5 locations in Minot and Williston, or just shop online at driveryan.com. That's driveryan.com. 3rd and 2, my friend. What are you going to see here?
Well, it's either
QB sneak again.
Well, it wouldn't put me past, but you also have Evan Berg right there in fullback.
You called it, partner. Evan Berg gets it right up the gut there. Look at that offensive line push front, but then Fargo North pushes back. They're going to get the first down, gain of 4.
Yeah, this is a drive that is just that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if high school, college, pros. If you have a drive like this and then it results in a touchdown, this pretty much, I'm not going to say is the final nail in the coffin for Fargo North, but
it's going to be tough.
It's going to be a tough one because the clock is running. I mean, this third quarter is almost over and both teams have had the ball one time.
I know. I'm with you. Jack Winnett out left. They're going to go with Chip in the backfield. They give it to Chick. He's going to make a nice little move inside. Wow, what a nice play. Again, it was Cooper Chick who was up for our player of the week here at PSP Sports. Didn't win it this week, but he's going to try to get it again. It's going to be 2nd down and goal. Blickery under center. He's just going to roll forward. He's going to score. So Blickery again for the Sentinels.
Yeah, again, just kind of, Minot North, just hurry up, get to the ball, get lined up. Fargo North is kind of, as far as the defense, they're starting to get a little gassed here a little bit. You can tell on those last handful of drives, especially that, you'd probably notice it more on that long 3rd down screen play that Berg almost picked up the first down on. And then being able to pick up the first down on that 4th down, you could, that's kind of, if you're a defender for Fargo North, that was just kind of, those were 2 plays that you kind of wish you had back.
Olsen for the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. So your score with 2:40 to go here in the third quarter. Minot North starting to pull away, but Fargo North's got some heart in them. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a nice drive here. 28-7, though. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, it'll be North football.
If the job involves dirt, we can tackle it. Dig It Up Backhoe Service. Site preparation, demolition, road building and grade raises, culvert installation, directional drilling, and every kind of dig. No job too big or too small. It's Dig It Up Backhoe Service. Find them online, digitupbackhoe.com, or call 701-722-3315. It's Dig It Up Backhoe.
Thank you for choosing PSP Network. My name is Dallas Hanson, up here in the booth with my friend Corey McIver. One of our sponsors tonight is BNC National Bank. Your life is busy. We'll make managing your money easy with locations in North Dakota and Arizona. Visit them online today at bnc.bank. Olsen, who's 2 for 3 tonight on extra points, will kick us off. 2:40 to go in the third quarter. Bringing it out is going to be Lucas Jackson. He's going to try to find a hole. Jackson brings it out to the 22. How about the special teams play there by the Sentinels? On the tackle was Gunnar Jost. So Jost with a nice special teams play. And it's homecoming week. Parking was tough today. We've got a packed house here at Minot North, but it's been a fun football game, and I can't help but think with 2:32 to go, I know you mentioned it there, a comeback is tough. But what we've seen, the shades of greatness, if you will, from Fargo North, it's still there. It's on the table.
Yeah,
they can still do it.
The opportunity is still there. They've got to be able to put a drive here now. You know, being down 3 scores, it's a little tougher, but North has shown that they can move the football against Minot North. They just got to be able to do it consistently here. Get Lockwood going early in this drive here and see what happens.
They're going to give it to Lockwood on the end around. He's going out to the right side. Lockwood, he's going to be tackled by a plethora of defenders from Minot North. One of them being Josiah Jacquanet. Excuse me, that was Josiah Jacquanet. So 2:25 and counting here. Spartans will have 2nd and 6. Ball's on the 22-yard line. Kellen Doherty tonight, 1 touchdown. It was what he's done tonight, Corey, has been extending plays so nice. Like whether he's rolling out to the right, left. He's a right-handed quarterback, but it truly doesn't matter. He does well when he rolls out to the left.
Yeah, he does, and you see that on both. You see it both sides, but he's able to kind of get out of the pocket, give himself an opportunity to either have that run-pass option.
Right back to Mikkel Lockwood. Lockwood's going to get a 4-yard gain to bring up 3rd and 2. So this is a big 3rd down. They're going to need a conversion here. We've seen a heavy dose of Lockwood so far on this drive and a lot of drives, but let's give a little pride to the Sentinel defense because they've done well tonight.
Yes, they have. They've recognized that, and they're just flying around. You know, with a 3-score lead as a defender, you can take a little bit more risk and be a little bit more aggressive, knowing that, you know, if they do have a touchdown, you still have that two-score cushion. But the defense from Minot North is flying around a lot better here in the second half.
Lavelle Hardman, who plays defensive end, has been in a lot. Right now, he's going to try to get the carry. He will. Lavelle Hardman right on cue gets the tackle against Doherty, who Doherty was going on the QB keeper. Did he get the first down, Corey? You're saying he's inches away? So
no, they did give him the first down.
Yep. Okay. So Lavelle Harlan, a player that I know Coach Holman really likes. Lavelle is a senior, 6 foot, 245 pounds. The big man. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. We're just under 1 minute left here in the 3rd quarter. You're watching PSP's coverage of Friday Night Lights. We are 1 game of 5 throughout the state of North Dakota. Make sure to share this feed with friends and family. Give us a subscription on YouTube. Little halfback draw inside, goes for a gain of 1. That was to Jace Veriano, excuse me. It's a tough Italian name, Veriano.
Well, I think that had the makings to have a little bit more of a game, but I think he kind of stumbled a little bit after the handoff and got either tripped up on himself or got tripped up by an offensive lineman. I think there was an opportunity there for him to pick up a few more yards on that carry.
2nd and 9 for Fargo North. Charles Larson caught the touchdown pass, goes in motion, but they hand it off to Connor Amundsen. Amundsen picks up the first down and more. Nice play call there by Fargo North to pick up the first.
Yep, that was something I was waiting to see, because that was the jet sweep coming back with that counter, and then he was able to get him space, and then I think when he looked to plant here, he kind of just got tripped up there on the turf there. Otherwise, you know, he could have probably gotten a few more yards, but that's something I think Fargo North is going to have to take advantage of a little bit more.
Well, your score after 3, Sentinels 28, Spartans 7. You've been listening to PSP's coverage of Friday Night Lights. Don't go anywhere. 4th quarter is loading.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair. Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Points. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here. That's the spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Hey, there you are. Welcome back to PSP Network. My name is Dal Sands alongside Corey McIver. We appreciate everybody who made tonight possible, including you at home. But First International Bank and Trust, they're a full-service, family-owned, independent community bank built on the bond between our employees and customers. Find them online at FIBT.com. Fargo North with the football. Back to pass is Doherty. Doherty's in trouble. He's getting chased around. Doherty trying to make a play. He's going to throw it away. And Doherty took a massive shot, and we're going to have a late flag here. Massive shot. Oh, boy. And Doherty is down. You hate to see this. QB1 is down right now for the Spartans. took a massive hit there. The official was right on top of it.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. You know, Minot North did such a great job forcing him back way deep, and just maybe got a little overzealous there, and you know, was probably penalty, probably roughing the passer. But yeah, you hate to see a player like Doherty go down on that hit, and we'll just have to see how this spells out here for Fargo North. But they're going to get a 15-yard penalty, fresh set of downs, but the important thing is, I guess the bigger concern is, who do you have coming in?
So actually, they called a intentional grounding, so there was no roughing the passer, but still a big hit, and you hope Kellen Doherty's okay. That was the right call, though, the intentional grounding.
Yeah, he did. You know, he was trying to get rid of it. It was one of those great. You know, he was getting wrapped up, and as he was throwing, he was getting brought down to the ground. You know, you can see just kind of scrambling. You know, I think, he just looked like that was just a tackle. You know, he still had the ball as he was going down, and he just kind of tried to flip it up out of the way. But, you know, that's one of those things where you just, once you realize there's probably nothing there, you just want to probably throw that away a lot sooner. But definitely now way back behind the sticks, you're probably going to see, the secondary for Minot North play a little deeper. Again, now Fargo North, you're just going to try to get as much yards as you can on these next 2 downs.
2nd and 42. As they're going to hand the football off. So Doherty takes a play off. Coming in for him was Matthew Craigness. But Doherty, good news here for our Fargo North fans. He will check back into the game. No, he's not. So it's going to be Matthew Craigness, the junior, that's going to play QB now for the Spartans. We're going to be faced with a tall task, third, and this is a true country mile now, Corey. 3rd and 40. I've rarely said that.
Yeah, now if you're Minot North, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to do anything foolish here to give Minot or Fargo North an opportunity to pick up a first down. Just wrap up here and bring him down.
They give it to Connor Amundsen. Amundsen, nice run here by Connor. He's going to go out of bounds. Way to put your head down, young man, and pick up a few yards. But he's going to be short. Let's take another look at a Ryan Family Dealership. A good job here by Amundsen.
That was a good hard run. He comes around the corner here, and he's still getting down. He's still getting downhill, and getting up the sideline, and actually lowers the shoulder here, and kind of puts the hurt down on the Minot North defender, but still well short of even the original line of scrimmage. So great job here for Minot North. They're going to get some good field position here off this punt.
11:06 to go. North is going to punt. Jack Juanette back. The punt is going to be end over end and rather short. But it takes a nice bounce for Fargo North. It's going to go to the 40-yard line. And you just said it, Corey. You said, hey, let's not do anything to go against ourselves. And I believe we have roughing the punter.
Yeah, I think Minot North kind of sold out again, trying to go and get the block this punt here, and kind of let out and again, kind of ended up at the legs of the punter. And anytime you do that and they knock him over, it's going to be the big penalty here. So it's going to give Fargo North a first down, and more importantly, as Coach Holman, as as coaching staff there, that's you got 4th and long. Do you need to go after the punt? That's one of those things where you think about it a little bit, and you have the opportunity, but if you're not going to get there, you don't want to do anything to jeopardize. But we do have Doherty back in the ball game for Fargo North, so that's a good sight to see there. And so now Minot North's got to shift gears again here and get back in the defensive mode.
Doherty with twins to his left, 1st and 10. Going in motion is Charles Larson. Doherty's going to drop back to pass. Trying to go up the middle. It's picked off. Nice pick. Beautiful play by number 32. That is Landon Salyards. Salyards, who was injured early on, says, boys, I can still play, and picks up a beautiful interception here as we look at our Ryan Family Dealership instant replay.
Yeah, nice job by Salyards there, just kind of dropping back into his zone and just kind of reading the eyes of the quarterback, and then did a great job of breaking onto the ball when it was in the air. Good job. As far as Minot North is concerned, no harm, no foul there on that penalty. We were able to get the ball back. Now you're going to see a heavy dose of run game here for Minot North.
28-7, 10:58 to go in our ball game. Blickery in the I formation, twins right. Blickery's going to hand off to Chick. Chick's going to go for a gain of 3 yards. So last week was our MVP, Sports Clips MVP performer. Don't forget, folks, after the game, we're going to have our Sports Clips player of the game along with our Magic City Home Leisure move of the game and your post-game show, which is brought to you by Plan Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads. That'll be at the conclusion of our football game. It's been fun to watch the Sentinels become who they are becoming, a football powerhouse. They voted to play AA this year. They're going to have to eventually bump up, but they're taking care of business. And just as a second-year program, Corey, we've seen this time and time again. It's like a boxing match. They start off just throwing a few jabs, and then you just see the old left hand come out for the knockout as Chick goes for another yard. But you gotta take Coach Holman, who's a Minot High grad, loves the game of football. His dad was a great football coach, and what he has done with this program is absolutely fantastic.
I agree wholeheartedly, and I think if the people that have followed Minot High when Jacob's dad Barry was the head coach, and to see Jacob kind of take over and just kind of follow in his dad's footsteps as far as developing a culture, and I would be willing to bet that if you ask somebody to watch the old Barry Holman Minot Magicians and Jacob Holman's Minot North Sentinels, all you had to do is just swap out the jerseys and the uniforms, and it's probably the same team and same style of play.
I love it, like father, like son. What a beautiful outside block that was, right up the middle. And they're getting some pushing and shoving. Let's have another look there as we've got some blocking going on. And we're going to have an official talk to a few of the players here as it's getting rather chippy.
Well, I think I think number 50, Gavin McKeithen, they're taking a look at number 68 there for Fargo North. I'm trying to get his name here.
Yeah, he took a heck of a shot.
Cole Larson, I think he was the recipient of Gavin McKeithen's block, and I think they're just kind of taking a look. And this is something that I really that as fans of football, coaches, spectators, players, the referees are doing a really good job now of recognizing, hey, we might need to have this guy go out and just kind of take there might be, we don't want to say concussion, but there might be something there. We need him to get off the field and just kind of take a break and reevaluate him on the sideline. And I think that's what they kind of did there. Ben Kramer, the umpire on the field there, recognized that was probably an opportunity that he saw something there, and let's just get him off the field. Let's get him evaluated, and just more or less player safety than anything else.
Rather be safe than sorry.
Yep. Brent
Miller, head coach, barking out some calls to his defense. Say, boys, let's finish this game strong. They've got an excellent chance. They come to this ball game 2-1, so Fargo North season will continue on. A lot of things to build off of this game. They've got a great linebacker crew, some good defensive line, but it was the early penalties that did not help matters. End around here is going to go to Braxton Thompson. Whoa, look at that play. Is that Mike Allstott or Braxton Thompson? Let's take another look at that rumble stumble here.
We have really been blessed with having some really good hard runners on both sides that just love to run the football, and they will lower their shoulder and run you over for those extra couple yards. So, that you have those scat backs that like to get out in space and make a guy miss and get some yards, but then we've got some guys that just love to carry the football and get downhill in a hurry.
We've got a Spartan down on the field right now. It is Noah Olhauser. So we'll take a short break. When we come back, we will let you know how Noah is, and the Sentinels will have the football.
You worked hard, saved well, and invested wisely. Whether it's paying for a child's education, taking the family trip you've dreamed of, giving back to the community, or funding a confident retirement, we can help you reach your goals. We are passionate about helping you make smart decisions about your spending and saving so you can feel confident about the future while enjoying life today. Together, we can design a personalized plan that takes into account your short and long-term needs and wants, but is flexible enough to adjust as your life changes.
So good news, Spartan fans. Noah was able to walk under his own power to the sideline. Thoughts go out to him, and hopefully he's all right. Nice piece to this Fargo North football program, but it's going to be Blickery in the I formation. I think I've said that a couple times tonight, Corey. Blickery is joined by the big man, the fullback, Evan Berg. But this time they're going to give it to Harrison Schaefer. Schaefer's going to pick up 2 yards to bring up 2nd and 8. So whether it's been Schaefer, who last week we saw Schaefer kind of be running back 1, but now it's been more or less Chick, and then Hannon who didn't have much carries last week at all. Tonight, he's getting a lot of carries.
Yeah, it's one of those where, and then everybody's talking about Dedmon coming back, and again we saw him a lot in the first half.
Yeah.
He was able to get that score in that kind of made him that obviously probably made him feel really good about being back. But we haven't really seen him here in the second half. So maybe that snap count thing was just first half, and now again we've got ourselves up by 3. There's no sense in bringing somebody in coming off an injury like that and just being able to take care of the football.
Blickery keeps it himself. We're going to have a holding here. You can obviously see that one. Jack Winnett gets a little too handsy. We'll take another look on our Ryan Family Dealership instant replay.
That's one thing as a receiver. That's the hardest thing because you're coming out to block that defensive back and Blickery's going out there and could have had a tackle for loss there. But then when you start scrambling like that and those receivers, the big thing you want to teach those receivers is the minute that defensive back starts to pull away from you, you got to let him go. You can still keep the hands on, but just let go of the jersey a little bit and just let him take his body and his momentum, and you just use that against him and just push him out of the way.
So the penalty on the Sentinels will send him back a little bit here with 8:08 and counting. 2nd and 16. Thank you for joining us here on PSP Network. Again, all of our games this football season are going to be for free on regular season, so make sure to subscribe to our channel. That's at PSP Network. We've got 4 other games happening throughout the state. It's pretty unique what our crew here at PSP has developed. As Blickery's going to roll out to his left, looking deep. Now he's going to roll to his right. Throws it to the north bench, the Spartan bench that is. Took a shot there, but it's going to bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, that's, again, you're taking your shot there. You're seeing something there. Would have been nice to kind of run around, keep the clock, keep the clock going. Obviously, we're busted play. We're going to try to make something out of nothing. Didn't want to give up too many yards on the sack, but probably one of the only few miscues that Minot North had in the second half. But again, 3rd and long, you're thinking, hey, get as many yards as you can. But with this offense, this 3rd and long could be an easy first down pickup.
3rd and 16 for Minot North, who was voted number 1 in the state AA. Looks like they're going to keep that. Blickery, he's going to step up in the pocket, lays it out. This is a big one. It's going to be picked off. Nice play by Fargo North. Heading the other way is Chase Larson. His brother caught the touchdown pass. Now Chase brings it out all the way out to the 38-yard line. Nice job by the sophomore, Chase Larson. We have a horse collar penalty to go along with it. Yeah, Chase just played this like a center fielder on our Ryan Family Dealership instant replay.
Yeah, it was one of those, kind of threw it up, and we had one receiver from Minot North kind of drifting over, and then there was kind of, 3 guys in one spot, and 2 of them receivers, and nobody really wanted to come down and get it, and the defender for Fargo North was able to kind of sneak in there. So,
Excuse me, it was actually holding on the return, so it wasn't a horse collar. My apologies, but it was a hold call against Fargo North. So they'll back the football up here to the 26-yard line where out trots the Spartan offense. Got some work to do here with 7:39 to go in the ball game. And this is a welcoming sign. Kellen Doherty, the senior who was injured, comes back out. He's going to hand off to Lockwood. Lockwood, who's been an offensive workhorse for the Fargo North offense, picks up 5 yards to bring up 2nd and 5. Don't forget this week on PSP Network, we're going to have some soccer, some volleyball, Tuesday and Thursday action, and football on Friday. Appreciate everybody who's joined us, especially our sponsors made tonight possible. One of them being Minot State University. The best way to predict your future is to create it with over 100 areas of study at Minot State. Make sure you check them out. Minot State grads get jobs, period. Minot State, be seen, be heard, be you. Rolls out to his right. That's Doherty. He's going to keep it himself. Doherty's tackled rather hard at the 36-yard line. Coming in ferociously was William Bentley.
Yeah, that's a great job. Again, we're getting Doherty out in space here, and a good job Minot North secondary covering those receivers. Doherty had no choice but to tuck it up and run, but even a better job by Bentley being able to run that thing down from behind, not giving up on the play, even though it was, the defensive end on that side had to run all the way, across the field to get to it. But good pursuit there by Bentley there to run that thing down.
3rd and 1 for Fargo North. They need a first down. Doherty going to hand off to the big man up the middle. That's Jace Veriano, and Veriano's stopped short. That's going to be 4th and 1 now. So Veriano not able to pick up the first down. So they're going to go for it, obviously, on fourth down.
I was just going to say this is kind of a no-brainer if you're Fargo North. You don't want. Last thing you want to do is give the ball back to North, because there's a good chance you probably won't see it back. So this is obviously four down. It's probably four down territory for Fargo North from here on out, as long as they have the football here.
The North crowd starting to come alive tonight. They're up 28-7, but it feels like the state championship in here tonight, the way the crowd is acting. Man in motion is Lockwood. They're going to give it to him on the end around. We've seen this a couple times. Lockwood's got some space. Lockwood's up to the 50, the 45, 40. This kid can go out to the 30. My goodness. Mikkel Lockwood for a rather large gain.
Yeah, that was a good run and good pursuit by Minot North. But yeah, this was one of the things I think everybody was kind of waiting to see out of Lockwood from the get-go. And when they needed it, he was able to get it. But yeah, once he turned the corner and went up the sideline, it was it was a foot race there, and it was a good angle there by the Minot North defender to knock him out of bounds. But this was that was a big pickup there for Fargo North.
5:30, 1st and 10 now on the 31. Doherty's going to take the snap, rolls to his right. He's going to try to go deep to the curl route, in and out of the hands of Noah Olhauser, who just was injured. Good to see him back in the ball game. And I hate to say this, but Mikkel Lockwood was slow to get up after that run.
Yeah, he definitely runs hard, and he's been, he's taken a lot of punishment running the football, and that was, when he got knocked out of bounds, I saw the same thing too. He was kind of slow to kind of get up a little bit, and when you're the everyday or every down back and you're expected to carry the load like that, you are going to get dinged up a lot more than somebody else. So, it's one of those things that he knows and he realizes, but he's going to step up when his number's called.
They're going to hand off on the end around. Nice play here by Lucas Jackson, who does the kick returning for him. He picks up a plethora of yards to bring up 3rd and short here for the Spartans. I want to give a quick shout out to Owen Patterson and Bryce Gutnick, who are doing the game across our city at Minot High School. They've got a whale of a game as well. Jonas Nelson is in Velva. Todd Domries and Chuck Claremont and Todd Woodmans here down in Bismarck. We've got quite the crew here.
Yeah, that's one nice thing about PSP Network. We've got people, we've got good crews all over the place.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And people, and they know, the nice thing is they know the areas, they know the kids, and they know the teams. So we're able to put a nice broadcast in for people all over the region.
Doherty, he's going to hand off right up the middle. Good job defensively. That carry went to Zachary Anderson. Couple Minot defenders in there, slow to get up. Not good news if you're a Sentinel fan. That was Evan Berg, the outstanding fullback and linebacker. So Holman's going to sub out Berg. Checking in for him is Christian Dedman. And I know you're up 28-7, 4:20 to go, but do you pull the starters? Wait for next week?
I don't know. I think as much as Fargo North is moving the football, you kind of want to keep those guys in here a little bit. You want to get them in, but yeah, I think you have to realize as well that you want to make sure guys stay healthy here for next week.
Doherty again to Lockwood. Over to that left side. Lockwood not this time and not up in here. Beautiful play by number 23, Luke Richardson, the sophomore, 5'6", 150. I'll have a reservation for one, loss of one.
Yeah, that was a good way to come up and fill on that. Kind of was able to elude that block and step up and take it away, and just a great job. And now, we've got turnover on downs. Minot North is going to take over the ball. 3:55 left. Obviously, if you're Minot North, if you're Coach Holman, you're telling your quarterback, hey, take care of the football. Let's get the yards. When we start to get resistance, cover up the football, go down. But stay in bounds and keep the clock running.
So Blickery under center. He's going to hand off to Chick. Chick's going to go up the middle, making something out of nothing. Nice job defensively by the Spartans. In there was Dylan Mord, one of the players that helped get that down. I want to give a shout out to our camera guy tonight who helped out. We had a couple subs come in. That is Drew, our guy. Drew, good job. He's been excellent on the camera tonight. Again, make sure, folks, you check out Moonlight Home Improvement. They provided the halftime show. Again, you can find them on Google. That's moonlighthomeimprovement.com. Corey, you've done a great job tonight. I have to say so, my friend.
I appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun. I mean, it is it's fun to come out here. It's fun to call football games. Football's been a big part. I played it in high school, coached it, and coached football. It's just nice to come out and be able to talk football and
be a part of the game.
And be a part of the game as well.
Well, you were that play was run up by Chick there, but you're also a golf coach.
Well,
so
yeah,
you're out golfing today.
It's been a long day for us, but we had our the girls golfers had our regional golf meet at Rugby today, and I'm happy to report that the first time in school history, South Prairie Max girls golf team is qualified for the state meet in Southard here at the end of the month. So
let's go.
Girls are pretty excited. We had 2 girls actually qualify as individuals as well. So it's a good time to be down at South Prairie Max. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, on the up and up. I like it. 3rd and 5 right now for Minot North. Trying to stay, or actually go up to 4-0 on the season here. They send Hannon in motion. Hannon kind of trips a little bit. Coach Holman didn't like what he saw, and Hannon's limping a little bit here. So Coach Holman wants time. We'll take time as well. You're listening to PSP's coverage and watching a Friday Night Hike.
Nobody thinks about personal injury until it happens. But when injury strikes, so will your bills and the turmoil and everything you'll miss out on. It's a mess, and you need someone to help it all make sense. That someone is Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride. We know the territory and the process, and we work smart and hard to get you results. It's easier to get back to normal knowing there's a team behind you. We're the ones the other side doesn't want you to call. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore. Huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair. Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Point. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport.
My apologies to Sports Clips there. Minot North was ready to go. We are as well. Handoff goes up the middle for a gain of 8 yards. That'll be a first down for the Sentinels. My partner in crime tonight, Corey McIver, is heading to the field. Corey's going to have an interview with the winning coach and also our player of the game, brought to you by Sports Clips. So Coach Holman and the Sentinels are going to improve to 4-0 after a convincing victory against a very, very, very salty Fargo North Spartan football team. This was no easy task. The scoreboard lies a little bit because Fargo North had a few miscues, and if they would have been able to get better on a few of those, this would have been a totally different ballgame. But kudos to Minot North because they didn't let that happen. The amount of penalties that Blickery was able to create by just the hard count was something to write home itself. Blickery, the senior, who's done an outstanding job leading this Minot North football team. They hand off up the middle. It goes to Leon Holzer, the junior, 5'10", 145. So Leon getting some time here. Don't forget, PSP's coverage continues next week with volleyball, soccer, and football. Thank you all for joining us here. My name is Dal Sanson. Corey McIver is heading field side. 2nd down and 2. Second down and 2 for the Sentinels. I formation, they're going to hand it up the middle, to go to Leon Holzer again. So Holzer getting some carries here. Coach Holman is sending in some new troops, and Cooper Chick's going to run off the field thanking the crowd. He was our player of the game last week. Cooper Chick, an outstanding player, just a junior, 5'6", 160, a player to watch for the future. That's a first down and 10, 45 seconds and counting here left in the football game. The Spartans will fall to 2-2. Sentinels will improve to 4-0. We're going to have a QB kneel here as Blickery will get some rest. The Fargo North faithful got to be happy with this football team. We're going to have a flag here. Let's see what Brandon Weber has to say, our white cap tonight. So an illegal substitution by one of the better officials tonight that's doing the game. That's Brandon Weber. Kudos to the reffing staff for reffing a very clean football game tonight. So now we'll have the QB kneel. Coach Holman takes off the headset. Hasn't cracked a smile yet. We're still waiting to see if he will. He's a perfectionist. And right now, Minot North is chasing perfection. 4-0 on the season. Fargo North falls to 2-2. The teams will shake hands. What a ball game it was. Homecoming week is completed with a win for Minot North. A final 28-7. Coming up next, our Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads post-game show, and also our Sports Clips Player of the Game and Magic City Home Leisure Move of the Game. We'll be back with interviews from Coach Holman and our Player of the Game.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak, or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. SurfPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face wavy hair. Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all.
7, pressure, points, yeah! It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here?
That's a spot. Right there, huh? Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and Civic. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Welcome back to First Western Bank Field here on the campus of Minot North High School. My name is Dallas Hanson. You got to look at Corey McIver here waiting for Coach Holman and our Sports Clips Player of the Game. But before we get to that point, we've got a few things to discuss here. Tonight's post-game show is brought to you by Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business success, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. Visit us online today at planningteam.com. Planning Team Financial Advisors helping clients work toward financial freedom. And how about Shots Crossroads, your post-game headquarters? Order online today at shotscrossroads.com. Get filled up on their delicious menu that includes the famous number 99. Order online, shotscrossroads.com. Team buses, they are always welcome at Shots Crossroads. And tonight's Player of the Game brought to you by Sports Clips. They bring you the MVP of this matchup. They are the home to the MVP haircut experience. Nothing, and I mean nothing, comes close to making you feel like an MVP quite like Sports Clips MVP Player of the Game. That'll come up shortly here tonight, but we got to talk a little bit about Fargo North, who comes up short, losing 28-7. They fall to 2-2. Kellen Doherty, the quarterback, and where's number 12? He was injured. He's a senior. He came back in after getting a big hit on him, showed some toughness. He threw one touchdown. That one lone touchdown and the one lone score for the Spartans was brought to you by Charles Larson, and what a play it was, the tiptoe in the corner. Charles Larson, a senior wide receiver, excellent job. There was one turnover caused by Fargo North. It was an interception by Chase Larson, the outstanding super sophomore. That is Chase Larson. So Fargo North, 2-2 now on the season. A lot of football left this year, which is good news for us fans and for the coaching staff for Fargo North, as they will look to improve and head home to Fargo to try to get this ship back on the right road. And the Sentinels, the number one team in AA football, are now 4-0. That's right, everybody at Minot North. They are 4-0 after a convincing 28-7 victory tonight. It was close in the first half, well, semi-close, but Minot North held Fargo North scoreless in the second half, and it was with their defensive effort, whether it was Jack Juanetz, all these other players. We've even seen Evan Berg, the outstanding fullback, get in there in a few plays, Braxton Thompson, along with Noah Robson, Leon Holzer. And how about some love for the big man down low? That was Lavelle Harlan, who had a couple stops. They were marvelous stops by Mr. Harlan. But it was our leader tonight, Braden Blickery, who run, pass, whatever it was. The QB sneak was alive and well, but not only did Blickery command the offense well, it was the hard counts. 4. I mean, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 total encroachment penalties came from Blickery and his hard count, which you cannot teach. That is something whether you have it or not, and Blickery's got it. The outstanding senior who stands 5'11", 175 pounds, proved why he's one of the best QBs in AA football. He can pass, he can run, and he can do a hard count. Carrying the football was Harrison Schaefer along with Cooper Chick, and also I mentioned him here on defense, Evan Berg, and also it was good to see Christian Dedman, where's number 12, a senior, 6'3", 215, gets some carries as well. But it was a big effort here by Minot North, and I know Corey McIver and I talked a little bit about it in the broadcast, but what you like and what Coach Holman is doing with this team from Minot North is he's got all these role players that all of a sudden can be stars at any point of the game. Tonight, one of them was William Hannon, who's a sophomore. That's right, just a sophomore. Hannon, he wears number 24, played outstandingly well. And they did reverses to him. They did some halfback dives, a little bit of everything. But last week, it was Cooper Chick. Tonight, it's Hannon's turn. And we've seen Schaefer play well as well. And we've seen Evan Berg do a lot of things. And Josiah Jacquenet kind of had a quiet night, but did things he had to do, whether it was blocking, catching some shorter routes. That's what makes good teams great, when role players step up into big shoes and fill those shoes, and Minot North's got plenty of that. You're listening to our Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads post-game show. We're just waiting for Coach Holman and the boys to come out of the locker room, as it looks like they are now. It's homecoming night, as you can tell on our screen here on PSP Network. Appreciate you being along for the ride tonight. My name is Dallas Hansen. It's been a fun night. We've got 4 other games going on as well. Whether you were a sponsor tonight and helped us make this broadcast possible, you just watching at home and shared this feed with friends and family, just know all of us at PSP appreciate you. Nick Holberg is back at the mothership doing all he can, and it doesn't happen without a lot of people that make tonight possible, including BNC National Bank, who provided our scoreboard. Your pregame show was by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. The timeouts were by First International Bank and Trust. The instant replays, which we used a lot tonight, were Ryan Family Dealership and the SurfPro Red Zone. Also, Minot State, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, Northern Plains Heating and Air, BSN Sports, Farstead Oil, the Pigskin Preview, which I use for all my homework. Make sure you get a Pigskin Preview. It's a very, very, very knowledgeable book. They do a great job putting that together. Tonight's halftime show was brought to you by Moonlight Home Improvement. Give them a call today, 701-721-4612. And now it's the postgame show by Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads. We're just waiting for Coach Holman to make his way over. We'll take a short break because it looks like Corey McIver is getting ready himself. When we come back, words from Coach Holman, our Sports Clips player of the game.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession,
Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of Finrun Civic. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL.
Looks like Corey McIver is caught up to our Sports Clips MVP. Corey, take it away.
We're here with the Sports Clips MVP, Braden Blickery. Braden, that was a good game, hard-fought game. You know, that was a good opponent you guys had. What kind of mindset did you guys have going into today, knowing you're going to be playing a team that's very similar to you in playing style?
We knew we had to be very disciplined, especially on the defensive end this week, and our coaches made a great game plan for us, and we just followed it all week long, I would say. So that's mainly discipline all week long.
As a quarterback for the team, what's it like, turning around and giving it to, you give it to Berg, you give it to Dedman, you've got Chick back there, you got a bunch of guys with different running styles. What's it like as a quarterback knowing I can get, I give it back there to whoever, and they're going to get you yards?
It just feels great knowing that anyone I give the ball to, they can go and get a first down for me. But it all starts at our O-line, who are making good blocks every single play. So it starts up there, I'd say.
And for you too, picking up some of those, fourth down, third and short, just those quarterback sneaks, just getting up in that offensive line. As a quarterback, obviously you've got a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. You called a heck of a game, played well. What's it like? Homecoming is always it's always a different atmosphere come homecoming. What kind of mindset did Coach Holman have for you guys? Hey, we got to treat it like every other game. Homecoming's great, festivities are great, everybody's kind of amped up. But what kind of mindset did Coach Holman have you guys going into today's game?
I think he was just trying to calm us down, because we had a pep rally today and a lot of distractions all week long with homecoming week. But he was just trying to calm us down, let us know it's another game. And we stayed calm and stayed disciplined and got the job done. So.
All right, hey, I'm not going to keep you any farther. Enjoy it. We're going to picture here real quick, but hey, enjoy the game, enjoy the win. Be ready to go next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, Coach Jacob Holman coming over. Coach, another great game, a hard-fought game. Dallas and I talked about it before the game. I thought both teams very similar in style as far as offense and defense. What kind of things were you looking at this week, knowing that you're going to be going up against a team very similar to yours?
Yeah, with two teams that run the ball, possessions might have been at a minimum. I don't know how many possessions we had, but we knew that every time we got the ball, we needed to do something with it. And we had some struggles early on, just getting in the flow of the game, both offensively and defensively. But our kids really adapted well and handled adversity very well.
I asked Braden this too. Homecoming week always seems to be, it's always a little different. There's a bunch of extra festivities, activities going on. What kind of things did you kind of try to preach to the guys, try to drive home, like, hey, we got to treat this week like every other week, got a big game, let the festivities happen when they happen, but what kind of mindset did you try to get these guys going for this week?
There's a lot of distractions during homecoming week, and I tell our kids that every year. And I tell them homecoming is a thing because there's a football game. And the football game is the most important part. Our job is to come out and try to win a game, and that makes everything else better. So they took that to heart, and they really care about this thing. And it's a special group of guys to coach when they're invested like they are. So credit to them.
Yeah, something to be said, too, about looking behind you and seeing the stands filled with the crowd and the cheerleaders, pep band. It is something special with homecoming, but hey, I'm not gonna keep you any longer. Enjoy the win. Be ready to go next week.
Sounds good. I get to go chaperone a dance now.
Yeah, well, have fun, man. I appreciate. All right, back up to you, Dallas.
Thanks, Corey. Excellent job as always. You were just listening to our Sports Clips MVP of the game. That was QB1, who other than Braden Blickery, outstanding player, a really good student athlete here. They're proud of him from Minot North. And you heard from Coach Holman as his team improves to 4-0. Next, we're going to shift gears and talk a little bit about our move of the game, brought to you by Magic City Home Leisure. It's time for a hot tub. Winter's on its way, and what other better way to relax than checking out a hot tub from Solom and the boys at Magic City Home Leisure. They also have billiards tables, spas, everything you need and more right there at Magic City Home Leisure here in the Magic City of Minot, North Dakota. Appreciate them coming on board for the move of the game. Tonight's move of the game goes to Braden Blickery on those quarterback sneaks. And we've got a double move of the game. I talked to Corey. We're also going to give it to the hard counts. It's rare that you get to see that many hard counts in a row. He had 4 of them that resulted in 4 penalties for Fargo North. So an excellent job by Blickery and staff to hold and maintain. But our move of the game goes to the hard count and also the Blickery QB sneak for a score. He did a bunch of times tonight, and the way that Minot North played, the rest of the state should be on watch because they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. My name is Dallas Hansen. I've been guiding you along tonight. Thank you for choosing PSP Network for your Friday night entertainment. Want to give a shout out to Nick Holberg, who's back at the mothership maintaining our tech support. Also want to give a shout out to all of you sitting at home that tuned in tonight. You've subscribed to PSP Network, and just know we really, really appreciate it. I also want to thank Drew for the camera work tonight. Your halftime report, the owner of Moonlight Home Improvement, so make sure you check out Moonlight Home Improvement. All of our sponsors made tonight possible. It's been a fantastic, fun evening. Where else can you get a helicopter to go land on the field before the game? Right here at PSP Network. That's where. Again, my name is Dallas Hansen. Good night and good luck from us at PSP Network. Your final, the Minot North Sentinels 28, the Fargo North Spartan 7. We'll be back next week with more action here on PSP Network.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day.